seems as though the fucking thing does not want to cooperate, so I am just manually putting us over because we're at the 5-minute mark. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unlucky Rolls and our dumbass campaign that we haven't done in a month. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Nurgle loves us.
I am Trisky. Yes, Nurgle does love us. Most of our delay this time around has been 2 separate cases of COVID on the same GM.
Yeah.
He got 2 different strains at the same time.
Simultaneous
Honestly,
COVID, multi-track drifting.
Honestly, at this point, I think we might need to name something after him.
No,
Good
it
news.
was just one COVID. It just took a long time to go away.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But to get everyone else up to snuff who might be interested in what happened last time, we had a brief session last time. We just did as much as we could just to make sure we had a session. Then we didn't have a session for a month, and now we're back. Last session, Gizmek became the progenitor of an entire planet of orcs that are now following us through the warp to join this massive fuck-off team deathmatch, I guess.
Exactly, because of time manipulation with what is basically a pink lament configuration.
Yeah, like 4 factions of the giant fucking deathmatch are on their way to
Karsoka.
Yeah.
The Drukhari, the Necrons, the
so
orcs,
The heretics.
So to summarize, there's a xenophile tech heresy admiral at Karsoka that has merged himself with a Catan into the Dark Star, and has gone insane and wants to create a dark light in the darkness. Astronomicon, yeah. Using his own specifically modified navigator house to take the sector. And he's been the only one other than you guys that has been able to actually travel around. And he's been collecting the psychers necessary to make take his plan into fruition. First thing you guys did is woke up the Necron Overlord in Captain Holtz's bridge or ready room.
Trophy room.
Who we
Trophy
thought
room.
was literally just a warrior and didn't know was an overlord.
Yeah, I mean, you found him next to a scythe, so...
Originally,
Well, yeah, we found him where we should have obviously known he was somebody of import, but we sort of ignored that factor a little bit too long.
Fun fact: originally in the original campaign, he was supposed to be one of Trace in the Infinite's bodies. In my head canon, he's just an overlord that Trace.
I mean, he might be. He might be, but he just doesn't know it, you know?
Exactly, he's just an overlord who Trace didn't like, so he stuck him in a box.
Yep.
And so he's gone off to resurrect his whole tomb world, which is currently happening in the background. The next thing that you guys did was to go to see Drushtata and the Drukhari, who's Corono's character's mom. And that was an insanely fun adventure. But you've provided the information, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna help deal with that. We're not gonna like show up in the middle of the freaking team deathmatch, but we're gonna show up at the end and kill everybody."
And Safar got like 10 points of corruption doing that whole thing.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
the pull of the Drukhari lifestyle on an Eldar body is significant.
Enticing.
You can see why your mother fell in the first place. Just how insane it is.
It's also his mother.
Yeah. I was gonna get a little bit of corruption, but then I was just one really. I had passed every single corruption test up until the very end, where I ended up accidentally getting 10 in one roll.
You got like 7 or something.
It started with you taking like a drink of some wine, and you just started like guzzling it. You know,
it was at the end. It was you fucking bullied the You were starting to bully the homunculus that we took.
Yeah.
And you got like 7 corruption for rolling a nat 1 on your brass dice.
I mean, it feels good to put somebody in their place, you know?
That's the GM passion.
Why are you robot now?
I accidentally clicked the wrong fucking button. Gizmek accidentally activated a vocoder. Shut up.
Fair.
Nice. And then
I should use the
finally,
foot pedal instead.
last session, you were told that there was a distress call about like an orc invasion before the whole mess with the galaxy. When you got there, there was like nothing left of this battle. There was just like a bunch of floating orc ships. The planet had been completely like culled of all life. But you managed to find a like time crystal from these like pink crystals that I've been sort of sprinkling around the galaxy, and through various time shenanigans, Gizmek is his own grandpa now.
Yes.
And also the grandpa of an entire planet of orcs.
Such a
With
great
just like
intro.
3 or 4 spores that I scratched off my forehead like danger.
You did the spin deck again.
You're roboting a bit, yeah. You're spin decking.
Stop using the Gizmek.
The current plan is to return to the first world that you guys visited, where Lord Slaughter was attacking, as that sort of side of the galaxy has been a hotbed of sort of chaos invasion towards Gilneas. So the Blackstone is currently in the warp.
Yeah,
heading towards that world. Which
and I don't even remember if I rolled for warp last time, but at the same time, it's like we probably don't want to because
it's fine. I don't have any other like weird adventures to put you guys on, so it's not a big deal.
And also, when
my brain begins to work again and be creative again, I'll have you do more.
And it's been like a month, so we probably just want to go along the main story.
Of course. So we start our first scene is of a meeting of the lieutenants in the dining hall of Captain Holtz, and someone want to take it away. Are you trying to have like a very cybery voice this time, Trisky?
It keeps doing this thing. God damn it. All right, so the answer is that's the wrong pedal because I have 2 separate pedals that do 2 separate voices, one for the Fallout campaign. That is my voice for my Mr. Handy character in the Fallout campaign. This is the voice I intend. I will divert us very briefly to rant about something. I accidentally had that robot voice the entire time throughout 2 separate VTuber collabs and didn't know that was happening, nor did my chat, because my chat hears me normally. But everyone in the Discord calls with me only heard me trying to do orky shit as a robot, and it was abysmal for them. And I didn't know the whole time.
How does that even work? Where your chat is fine, but everyone in the Discord
because
is not.
Because voice mod is a separate audio source, so Discord is set to have voice mod, but my Twitch stream for like video game stuff is set to have very explicitly just my microphone straight up.
That's
fun.
Pretty funny.
Oh,
so
it was hilarious.
The scene up a little bit. This is a long warp travel. It's been like maybe a couple weeks since you've dealt with that whole situation. We'll actually instead zoom in on the navigator spire into Ira's room, which is covered in torture implements, as you'll recall. And on 2 low couches in her room, we see Ira and we see the Harlequin just hanging out. You both have a big smile on your face, and you have like that obvious like drugged out look There's like a pool of blood in the center of the floor, and like a couple of fingers on the table. You're not really sure where they came from.
I briefly check over my hands just to make sure they're not mine. Just like count them all like groggily. Okay, we're good.
And it's not like a drugged out like a downer situation. Like you feel like energized, right? Like you feel like you've actually like consumed some food for the first time in a long time.
I see.
And yeah, like she's just like sitting across from you. She says, I know it's not quite what you had with your mother. That palace was incredible, but it'll keep us going for a while yet.
I shake my hand. I said, "Oh well, I mean, it might keep you going for a while. Me, it's not something I really need or regularly indulge in. And besides, I wasn't really a fan of my mother's palace anyway."
Now, is that a deception or is that a real thing?
That's genuine denial. Like that's
genuine denial.
That's unaware. I'm not an addict. I'm just here. Like, what? This is just fun.
Love
This
it.
is a hobby. I can quit anytime I want to.
Okay, so I need Safar to make a deception check against himself.
That is a good way to portray denial. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
So you're gonna roll deception and see how many dice you get and successes you get, and then you're gonna roll insight. See how many successes you get.
Difficulty number 3, dice pool 2.
No difficulty. It's just how many you roll is going to be your difficulty for your insight check.
I had 2.
Okay, so roll a difficulty 0 insight check, just to see if you get a complication. You're going to succeed no matter what. Nice.
Yes. You double ones.
What does that mean?
Numbers
You're
make
into
sense.
denial.
What do they mean?
Well,
Okay, so I'll say that's a -1, so you don't actually like catch yourself in your denial. And I'll just write down a note on my notes here.
and we move along.
I really.
So I think Safar like honestly believes that, this is just sort of weaning off that effect that he felt back with his mother.
Yeah.
His dreams have been getting more and more intense as of late. Some nights you toss and turn and you imagine yourself like leading like a raiding force and like grabbing like human slaves and like bringing them back to your mother's lair. And it like always ends with like her in like darkness with like red glowing eyes in the background. Praising you, and you like feeling like really good about yourself, and then you wake up. What's up? It's like a dream figure. It's like not a real figure of your mother.
I couldn't hear you. My audio dropped for a second there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. So, so you having dreams of like actually like leading like raiding parties of Drukari, picking up human slaves, bringing them back to that tower. And then like you're like your mom is like a shadowy figure with like red glowing eyes and like praising you, and you feel good about yourself, and then you like wake up in a cold sweat. And this is not the first time you've had this dream. You've had this dream many times in the last couple of weeks, and so that's what urged you in the first place to get another hit from Ira. You weren't sleeping very well.
Yeah. See, I'm not an addict because I'm just not sitting there alone doing this. I have a reason to do this, and it's not mine, so it's like it's completely different, right?
Yeah. So
I don't know how that human finger got there. I'm holding it for a friend. I thought it was a carrot.
So us from the outside looking in, we look at Safar and we can see like a physical change in him. He's grown stronger. He's grown in height, but his like skin is like papery thin and very pale for what he usually has. His hair is a little scragglier than it was. And his eyes don't sort of have like the same like level of glow that they usually do.
It's like it instead of like a normal like like the latent psychic Eldari glow, it's more like a sickly, almost glow in the dark kind of color.
Mm-hmm. So we can see the effect of the corruption sort of on him as like an audience. And yeah, do you wanna talk to Ira about any of this?
Well, the thing is, I'm in denial, so in my mind, there's nothing to talk about.
Sure.
But I do have an idea. Like now that I'm feeling energized, like I get up, like I do like sort of essentially the standing human version of a cat stretch. And am I echoing at all?
Not through
No,
my.
you're good.
I've got headphones this time.
Okay. So I do like sort of a standing human cat stretch. I step out of Ira's room. Like I bid her. I'm like, all right, I should probably get to doing something before the captain starts riding my ass.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's no, like you know what I mean. Like before Holt starts, pestering me for just being a layabout. So I
No,
go
no,
out.
no. I'm probably right.
Nope. We're ignoring that and going with the lewd joke. Innuendos only. Moving forward. Go on ahead, Jim.
Yeah. So in your room, there's like the subject of your curiosity, which was that book.
I do want to
not my room.
mention.
I wasn't going to my room.
Oh, you're going somewhere else?
I want to mention one thing.
I was going to go
which
for a
is
bit of a walk.
I imagine that as Safar is leaving, that Sator would go past him into Ira's room, and he will look at him for a second. He would sort of, seek the corruption of his soul.
Yeah, what does Sator make of this? Like Ira and Chrono are hanging out a lot more than they used to.
I mean, for him, it's mostly that. He's
like I know
starting to
Sator's
suspect
been a bit distracted with his new like homunculus, like toy, right?
His pet homunculus.
For one thing, Sator is definitely way more harsher or on point with the homunculus compared to Ira, because he's making sure to not give him the chance to play him at all. But he's still probably like way less rough compared to an actual Archon.
Yeah.
At the same time, Sator would be starting to suspect of Safar's soul corruption, because he has sort of experienced it himself a bit before.
Yeah. So do you want to talk to Sator? Not Sator. Do you want to talk to Safar about it, or do you want to talk to Ira about it?
I think that right now Sator is a bit too busy with one, the homunculus, and two, with the something bug lungs, exactly.
something bug.
Right now, Sator is a bit too busy with both the homunculus and the weird space dust, the fucking dust from the cube that was remaining. But at the same time, he has like two things that he wants to ask Ira about. He would ask about Chrono. Like, he would probably ask about like, hey, is Safar basically becoming a Drukhari or something?
Yeah, like Ira will like gesture to the low couch that Safar just like took off from. And she says, I think going to that tower awoke something in him that he didn't know existed.
Uh-oh.
I'm just helping him along the path that he wants to walk.
Well, seeing that his mother is already an Archon, there definitely was something there. Whether it will end up being good or bad, I suppose we will see. Anyways,
the pull of the corruption is heavy on every Eldari heart.
I just hope that he remembers that he made a contract with Holtz.
Oh, his duties are ever foremost on his mind, which is why he, needs a refresher hit every once in a while. The
Adderall.
I worry the collective hangover would probably kill him. Or drive him mad.
I'll talk with double checking what his name was.
Houndar?
That's one of the things that I have is Houndar. But if Houndar could do anything about that, but talking about him, what do you think is less useful, the pinky toe or the pinky finger? And we can probably cut from there.
I would imagine it's the toe.
What from who? Who's pinky toe? Who's pinky finger?
The ones that are on the table, I think.
Sator would say.
You don't want this material. This material is
Sator would say his own.
Painted. I mean, he wouldn't need a finger or a toe. He would need just a cell of you. He probably has all he needs from the plentiful dust coming off of your scalp.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But at the same time, I'd rather not be waiting a month to be reborn. I assume that Holtz wouldn't want that either in case of the worst scenario.
I mean, what is a month to one such as you? You've lived such a long time. You know what we feel in terms of time. You have to start to let go of those human those hasty feelings, especially when dealing with homunculus tech. It's not designed for that type of time scale.
Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't mind waiting 1 or 2 months, but if we are in urgently need of leaving a sector and going to another, he might need to do a rush job. But
believe me, you don't want a rush job from one of those. You might end up waking up from death in a worse physical form than you left.
You might not have a choice.
There's always a choice. I've seen homunculi res trueborn that have been dead for millennia. They're fine. As long as the body is properly grown. As long as the spirit is properly contained.
Well, we will have to see about that in the future. Until then, where is the body? Or the subject?
She just flicks her hair over towards her closet.
Yeah. Sator takes another dude who basically should be dead, wants to be dead, but isn't dead, and takes him over to the homunculus lab. Well,
oh, he's dead.
All right.
Yeah, the two of them have killed.
Oh, yeah, man. Fair, because it is Chrono. I mean, Safari's there, and he's not an actual Drukhari, so
yeah.
For the first time, you notice on the body a bunch of like orky tattoos. Obviously, this guy's been picked up from a Gizmek cult, and has been policed, as it were.
Yeah.
Good
You haven't
riddance.
you haven't seen it before. Hulse is cracking down a little bit more on the ship on these things. Remember, he made that like the promised men for Gizmek, and anybody else who tries to do anything gets immediately rat catchered and sent.
But at the same time, the
to Ira's
promised man-
closet, I guess. You know,
I mean, that's
boy.
one of the destinations.
it's one of the destinations. Yeah.
One of them, along with a void of
Hey,
space.
one of them can be the airlock.
Yeah, exactly.
I trust my men to leave things to their own discretion.
Chrono, do you want to keep going with Safar now, and then we can cut to Sator with the homunculus later, potentially?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is Safar up to? Where does he take a walk to?
1 second. Basically, it starts with heading right in and around, my little nook, my little hole.
Yeah.
So I walk past it, just sort of, like that feeling when you get a lot of energy, you just feel the need to burn some of it off.
Yeah.
It's like that. So I go for a walk. I pass by the corridors. I see the lieutenants walking through the halls. People, subtly shifting away from me as I pass. But then again, it's nothing new to me because these people are human. They've never been fully comfortable with an Eldar on the ship.
Yeah, you get that that racism look a lot, where they want to be cordial because the captain tells them that they have to be, but there's like something inside of them that just hates you.
There's more racism here than usual.
It's about the same. It's just you noticing it more.
Oh, not the same. Oh, I see. Okay.
The racism is a little more on the nose than before.
Huh. Is it my fault? Is it me?
Yeah, the speciesism is strong as usual, but
Speciesism.
I feel like Safar used to just like sort of like kind of ignore it or think it's something else. He'd have like a more positive personality, but now now he sees those looks for what they are.
Yeah. Like this weird sense of like hatred and adversarialism that, well, even though it was there before, it's not something that ever really bothered him or something that he particularly noticed. Now it feels like more of a slight.
Yeah, so instead of like skipping around like you usually do, you're kind of stalking around the halls a little more than you were before.
Mm-hmm.
You're like jumping out of the shadows at some people, and they pull away from you and like
taking
try
corners,
to take another
sharply on purpose.
Yeah, they like take another corridor or like try to find another way around so they don't have to like walk past you and stuff.
Yeah.
Where are you headed?
On, I see. I walk past some of the Space Marines. I actually do see Victor Brahm, and then I do remember the dreams I've been having, and it almost brings like almost a little bit of a pang of a sort of a woozy headache remembering it, because in some of those dreams, Victor Brahm is a Space Marine. Yeah, so
he's the guy.
Huh?
So yeah, you don't see normal Space Marines. They're in their own like reclusium, but Invictor Brahm does at times leave the reclusium to go visit the captain or various lieutenants around the ship. So you do bump into him, and you like you see in his face the face of the Space Marine in the arena.
Like it's like it's there for a second, then I like blink hard and it's gone.
Yeah, and he's got like the perfect like I would kill you if I could stare. But he like tries to drop it, and he tries to be cordial because he's trying to be friendly to his word to the captain.
He's not trying to cause problems. Yeah.
He's not trying to cause problems, and he says, Eldar. He's like, gives you like a curt nod as he like walks past you.
I nod. I'm like, I know it's like I consider saying something snide like Monkai or like meat, but instead I just call him. I'm like Marine.
Yeah.
No, I refer to him as Armored Kin because that is actually what some Eldar actually refer to.
Okay. Yeah, he's happy with that.
In 1
do you
second.
want to like do you want to chat with him, or do you want him to keep walking?
I might chat with him later. I just have something planned. A little side thing. There is actually an audio drama where they're talking about a bunch of craft worlders are talking about some exodites, and they state they're talking about this one exodite hero, and they state that quote he turned back the armored kin of the corpse emperor. So that's an interesting thing.
Mm.
So like they are called the armored kin.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I actually end up walking absentmindedly all the way to the hangar, where we keep a lot of the tech and the weapons. I look around, I take a step inside, and I'm looking around. I see, I'm like, some of the stuff is kind of boring in here. Because I remember in my mom's place, they had things like Raiders, Ravagers, Jetwing Fighters, Void Raven Bombers, all that sort of thing. Like Hellion boards.
The hangar is full of a variety of vehicles, obviously. Holtz is no... Like, you know, he uses whatever he can get, so it's just like a completely separate set of vehicles and people running back, and like there's a constant activity on this ship all the time. It's not like nothing's happening, even when it's on the warp. There's like maintenance crews like working on all these things. There's like, you know, smoke getting thrown up into the air from like a random like malfunction on one of the ships. It's a loud, like noisy, smelly place, the hangar. Is there any reason that you wanted to be here?
Yeah, I wander sort of slowly into a more secluded, almost closed off, almost cordoned off part of the hangar where the knight is kept, the knight suit.
Yeah, so he's not in the hangar so much as in the storage, but you could easily head in that direction.
Yeah, I look the thing up and down, and I'm sort of musing about like what modifications I would make to it. I'm wondering like if that guy dies somehow, I could probably make an argument that I shouldn't be the one to keep it because I'm psi active.
If you'll remember, the knight was in like a closed off like bay, right? Like it was like sealed away. But you can see his two armigers. They're out in the open. They're currently being serviced. And so you can actually see his two hangers on, his two armiger pilots. Yeah. Like pointing and like directing the maintenance crews and like yelling at them to do stuff.
And I'm very, very obviously not supposed to be here. And one fun thing to remember, the night pilot and I don't get along. He actually beat the shit out of me last time.
Yeah, he would if you were looking at his night, he would. If you were in his sealed off mech bay, he'd be on your throat for sure.
That's what I thought I might run into here.
Stealth check.
Well, if you want to go into that, then you have to tell me, and I'll make you roll.
So I want to go in. I was planning to go in to poke around at it because I'm sort of a lot of my when you start becoming Drukhari, a lot of your inhibitions start coming down. I would imagine, like you just feel like you can go where you want and do what you do.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll, difficulty 5. They have pretty tough security on the, but you're a crazy Harlequin, so you should know about that.
Dice pool 8.
Yeah, looks like it. Awesome, and you critical, so you get a point of glory to the pool.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, so yeah, we see you in the night mech bay up on a gantry. And the same from outside. You can see the knight himself, Sir Bravant. And it seems like there's constantly maintenance happening on this thing. Every day, like every part of this vehicle needs to be taken apart and put back together. with the proper like sacred undoances and rituals and so forth. It seems like quite exhausting owning one of these pieces of machinery.
Yeah.
So what does Chrono want to do when he's like just looking at this marvel of machinery? And you can see Sir Bravin just there on the floor.
How far away is he from me?
Like 50 yards, 50 meters, something like that.
I didn't think I'd get this far. I didn't think ahead. I thought for some reason I thought we'd be alone. I'm going to try and that's the thing. I'm surprised by just how many people are here teaming over all these things. So I'm going to try and lure Bravin away. Like,
okay,
I might have some.
Make me a deception check.
Like I'll
fucking throw a stone, fucking Metal Gear style.
I throw a piece of machinery or make a noise.
Yeah, give me a deception check. Difficulty. He's a knight, so difficulty like 4.
Oh fuck!
Nice.
Okay, so you drop down behind like a pile of crates, and you make a loud sound in that direction, like a piece of machinery falling off. You basically push like a piece of machinery off of a shelf, and it comes crashing to the floor. And then you jump back and you try to and you get into a little stealthy hidey hole, and you're sitting there and you're waiting. When you feel a circular metal disc press itself into your back, and a gruff voice say, "Are we going around again? Knife ears."
Is this his voice?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! He got me. Why do I keep making an ass of myself in front of this guy?
I don't know.
I put my hands up. I try to play it. I am pissed off at myself for having fucked that up, but I put my hands up sort of playfully, try to play it off and say, "Oh well, you just seem to like me so much." I was wondering. I'm like, so I've been having some questions about this mechanism of yours, this contraption you've got here.
I'm sure the captain could give you a full report. Away from me. I told you what would happen if I caught you in here last time. He leans in to whisper in your ear. He says, "I didn't get my pound of flesh last time. The captain ain't here."
Okay. What I want to try to do is spin around, try and spin around, hit the disc, and try and pin him against the wall by his throat.
Okay, so the disc, you realize, is the end of a las pistol.
Ah, I see. I could probably take a hit for that.
You could probably live.
That won't kill me.
But yeah, you could roll something to try and get the drop on him in this situation. It's not like he is
Okay, what would I roll here?
Just cutting. That's a thing.
I'm trying to remember what initiative roll. You're basically going to be rolling initiative to see who gets to act first, right?
Either initiative or be a athletics maybe.
Yeah, so roll it's a D10 plus your initiative value, and he'll roll a D10 plus his initiative value.
Okay, my initiative value is 3. So it says it's 1/2 and then a 3 in the big one. So
it's 3.
It's 1 base, and you've done 2 upgrades, so it's 3 total. So go ahead and roll a D3. D10 plus 3. He'll roll his initiative. So you roll an 8. So you can just do /R space 1d10 plus 3 in the chat. Because normally
Yeah,
there's no
it's-
initiative rolls in this game. Normally it's like you go back and forth with the enemies or whatever. But
Okay, I forgot to do the plus three.
plus
So
three, so
You
9.
do
Nine.
get
9, yeah. So you do get to act first, whatever you do.
okay,
You are an Eldar.
yeah.
In one motion, he's holding it in one of his hands. He's not holding it perfectly center, right? It's offset because he is holding it in one hand.
I mean,
I
he's
spin
holding
around-
it like against you, but yes.
I do my best to lean and spin away from the side that is not holding, well, towards the side that's not holding it. Knock it with one hand to the side. The next hand goes right to his throat, pins him behind against a wall.
Okay, give me a weapon skill test, difficulty 3.
A lot of rolls. Difficulty 3, dice pool 3. Oh, let's
Nice.
go, finally.
Yes. So
I
you
made a
spin
roll.
around, you kick the pistol out of his hand, and you pin him to the wall. And he sneers at you with his with his big mustache.
It's a mustache.
And he says, and he like coughs, and he says, "Well, we got ourselves a real fight on our hands." And he like tries to like grab you around the waist and like tackle you to the ground. So he's gonna make a weapon skill test against your defense.
What's
which is 2.
Oh,
So he's gonna
I
roll.
think that defense is like initiative -1, or I don't
no,
remember.
there's a separate thing for it in combat under general.
Okay, so he critically succeeds. So he's gonna grab you, and he's gonna like pile drive you off the side of this this crate that you're hiding on onto the ground.
Oh
So
boy.
you're gonna take 2 wounds as he slams you down. But the both of you are like in a grapple. You're both like holding onto each other at this point.
Where are my wounds?
On the combat section, you have 7 wounds.
Okay.
But you're injured now, so you'll be at +1 difficulty to everything you do.
I see.
Yeah.
So he pins me down.
Yeah, you're like your head's spinning. He's not pinning you down so much. He also slammed into the ground at the same time when he did the throw off of the crate. So you both are sort of like scrambling to get to your feet at the moment.
Despite the injury, because Drukari in pain, it's not the end of the world for them. I do laugh at him. I say, I could probably make a few improvements to this thing if I get the chance. Little wraith bone here, little pilfered metal there. I could probably use it better. I am psi active, don't you know? I say, if you were gone, I could negotiate for it. Holtz is a gambling man. You take that.
So you're both like scrambling to your feet to try and like get the one up on each other. Why don't we
As
do
I'm
like an
scrambling,
athletics? We'll do like an athletics roll off between the two of you. So go ahead and roll athletics.
One thing is, as I scramble, I'm sort of making like these implications.
Yeah. His feet are like slippery as he tries to get up. But based on that complication,
complication.
He does have one more success, but
yeah, we're gonna see what happens.
Oh,
okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, so you manage to get to your feet, but in doing so, you like slam your head into like a panel that's like up above the two of you.
I
So
see.
you get to your feet like too fast, and you bang your head. You take an extra wound. And yeah, you're like head swimming still from the hit. You can feel a little bit of like blood in your mouth, like one of your teeth is loose.
Ooh.
It's and he's in the process of getting up. You like look over to your right, and you see his like las pistol has like slid across the deck and is like on the ground, sort of equidistant between the two of you, but he still hasn't gotten to his feet yet.
Rather than duck down for the last pistol, I'm gonna go for him. I'm gonna fully pounce on him.
Okay.
I mean, you probably also have your guns on you, so
You do have your guns on you. Well, you got your pistol at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't know if you carry your like long rifle on your back the whole time you're walking around.
No, no, because I felt like that would. I often felt like that would inflame tensions. So no, the pistol and the knife are concealed on me in case of emergencies.
Yeah, so you do have a knife and you do have a pistol. Do you want to like go at him with a weapon, or do you want to continue to like try to like wrestle with him?
I want to keep trying to wrestle with him because this is almost like a feral enjoyment of the fight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like,
yeah, give me.
This is not ordered combat, as a Harlequin would know.
Give me another weapon skill test, difficulty 2.
Ooh.
Okay, great. So you're gonna like punch this guy, and then try to get behind him and like try to get him into like a headlock. He's very strong. He's much stronger than you, but you managed to like get up onto his back, and start to strangle him.
Ooh.
And he's like wailing around at you to try and like throw you off. So give me an athletics check, and I'm going to give him a strength roll to give you a difficulty. He's slightly stronger than that. Yeah, like a difficulty 2 athletics check to hold on as he like spins around.
Fuck.
Okay, so he like reaches up over his shoulders, grabs you by the cape, and like hurls you over his body, slamming you on the ground. You'll take another 2 damage.
Man,
Wind gets pushed out of you as he like smacks you on the decking. It's like not even like super even decking either. So you hit like the ridge between 2 pieces of metal floor.
I'm sitting at 5 wounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're feeling it. You're feeling bloodied.
I'm gonna draw my pistol.
Okay. So you pull your pistol like on him, and he
pointed.
He looks like momentarily afraid.
Understandable. Yeah.
Do you wanna shoot him?
No, I'm now that I sort of have his attention and have him a bit afraid, I'm gonna start talking because I'm not here to kill him.
Well, give me an intimidation check to see if he tries something to get the pistol out of his face.
It's not that close. Like he threw me. I should be like a bit of a distance, right?
No. So like he threw you down at his feet.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're like right down in front of him. So you're like pointing your gun up like at his like throat, basically, from the ground.
A difficulty number?
Intimidation, let's say 2, because you've got a gun on him, and his gun's like across the floor.
Oh,
don't forget you can reroll.
Yeah, you can use a wrath if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll use the fucking wrath.
You should have also used that. You probably
Just
also
right click on it and reroll failed.
Yeah, right click on the test.
You will also have the 1 glory, but yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Nice. Yeah. So he sees that you're not going to immediately shoot him, and he backs up and he got his hands up. He says, "Now, knife ears.
No,
I didn't shoot you when you were in the shadows. This isn't that kind of fight."
1 second, sorry. I'm getting water. I just give him like a little I suppose not. You said that brother of yours got taken by some of the darker kin. You're lucky I'm not one of them. I could do some nasty things if I was. I sort of I'm sort of sauntering around, but keeping the gun trained on him.
Well, for where I'm standing, you're looking more like him every day.
What? No. You wouldn't know that.
Give me an awareness check. Difficulty 4.
Yeah, I need difficulty 4. 4 successes, 1 failure, 1 critical.
Yeah. You're like looking at like the arm that's like pointing at him with the pistol, and you can like see your muscles are like roided out. Like they're like bulging, they're pulsing, and you can like feel the aggressive intent of your body like pushing you towards this action. Do you like comply with it, or do you try to resist it?
Like what action do you mean?
Well, do you like do you like let your body do what it wants to do, or do you try to resist?
I try to resist.
Okay. So I need you to make me a conviction test. Difficulty 2.
For mutation or corruption?
For corruption.
Right?
Yeah.
What?
You
Would
can
you like to use your last
use your
wrath?
wrath. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It would be low key worth it, yeah. Also at DN5.
It's not DN5, it's DN3. 2 in this case.
It says I have no more wrath.
Because you didn't change it on your sheet. I'm gonna give you one on your sheet
yeah.
and drop and then you can use it, and I'll drop the one off the field.
Okay.
It's
Where
only
do I add that?
difficulty. It's
I
supposed
already
to be-
did it. I already did it for you. It's in the top right. So you can do a reroll now.
It's supposed to be difficulty 2, so you would get only one
Nice.
get one corruption. Then I guess.
Okay, so you're gonna gain 1 corruption, and you want to have like this like you got that like jokey nature, so you want to have like this like jokey like back and forth with this guy, but your body just wants to shoot him. So your arm just like falls a little, and you just like shoot him in the knee with your shuriken pistol. And it makes a loud noise as the shuriken like pings off the ground behind him. Blood flies everywhere. He screams and like lands on the ground. His like leg is like torn in half.
Ooh.
By this pistol wound. He starts screaming bloody murder, and you start to hear like footsteps in the background, like people running in your direction.
I am.
And you're like standing there, like looking down at your hand, like shaking. Like you didn't want to do that.
Yeah. The wherewithal of the situation has almost completely left me at this point. I don't even react to the footsteps coming. I start yelling near to the top of my lungs at this guy. I am nothing like the Dark Ones. My mother went down that path, but I know better.
And so, do you try to like slip into the night, or do you like let these footsteps make it to you, or do you kill this guy? Up to you. Yep, one of those 3 things. Or further injure him, or whatever. There's more actions you can do, but that's like the general actions you have available to you.
I'm gonna grab him and try and use him as a hostage because I don't know if I can get away. And I hear everyone come.
Listen, you can definitely get away. Like you can come in the same. You can get out. You can get out the same way you came in. There's nobody that direction.
Okay.
You're an Eldar.
You're
You can
not. I'm
always
not.
get
Your
away.
back isn't. Your back isn't up against the wall unless you fail the stealth roll. Right?
Am I fucking complicating things right now? I feel like I am. Oh shit.
I mean, you could. If you wanted to take him as a hostage, you could, but that's probably not the direction you want to go because that will have like.
I mean, this is simultaneously a shit show and horrible and hilariously funny to watch.
I didn't expect it to go this bad.
Honestly, I want to
What
say
the fuck
that
did you expect?
I want to say that if Sator saw something on the fucking box or something that the knight got fucking injured, he would fucking come down there too, probably.
No, like this is happening so fast. This is happening like in seconds.
This is
Yeah.
so.
If he got
He's on the
alarm
ground.
box in, like,
He's screaming. He's like holding the bloody stump of a leg that he has.
I have one question that is relevant. How close? So Gizmek has a storage bay that he usually does all of his shit in. That's basically become his home on the ship. How close is this to where the knight is stationed?
Pretty close, but you wouldn't be able to hear it because he's like sealed this hangar for his mech, right? Like he tries to do everything away. He's trying to like pull himself away from all of the Xenos nonsense happening on the ship. So he's like sort of sealed himself away in this hangar bay. It's got like a door that can open so his knight can get out, right? But he like keeps it sealed all the time.
Oh yeah, to briefly summarize for the chat, because apparently Scroll Care is lost. so far, the Eldar has had a bit of a butting head with this Imperial Knight pilot guy who has been conscripted into Holtz's service at this point because he has had previous bad experiences with the Eldar, and they previously had a scuffle that basically ended with you two stay the fuck away from each other, or so help me. And now he's come back to where he has his knight, a place that he's explicitly been told not to do, and fuck things up. So this is hilarious.
Yes, this is a very funny situation. So,
Yeah.
what does Safari do?
Funny and bloody, but funny nonetheless.
Oh, God.
You're fully in
guy
control of
react-
your actions now. You don't have like you've like pulled yourself out of it a little.
You snapped out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he react to me screaming at him right now, or is he too concerned with
I
his
mean, half his leg has just been cut off by a shuriken pistol. So
typical Monkai?
yeah, he's a little
Any
predisposed.
situational awareness.
He
Typical
can't. He
No,
can't really
right.
he can't really like be his normal like haughty self when his like leg is cut in half.
Man's just laying in the cut. He doesn't have time for banter.
Yeah.
I want it known. I did scream pretty loudly at him that I'm not one of the Drukhari. I'm nothing like my mother, and
Yeah, you said that before you shot him.
I think that you did after you shot him.
No, I think it was after I shot him. It was right after I shot him.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
like, you know what?
it's like a highlight of how hypocritical he's being.
Said like because you said like I'm nothing like them, I'm nothing like my mother, and he was like from where I'm
He
standing,
said that
you're looking more and
after
more like that every day, and that's when you shot him.
No, he did it right
Yeah.
after.
That was
I'm
the order of it, I believe. Anyway,
There's a
we'll
stream,
go
we
with
can
that,
check
we'll
it
go with
later. It's whatever going on.
that's the story order that I'm putting it in. That's what I think.
Okay,
happened.
we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I think maybe it does make a little more sense that
Yeah,
way.
because you like
That-
looked down at your arm and you were like, oh my god, I'm like roided out right now, and then your
That
body's
does-
like, I want to get aggressive, and then you shot him. Yeah.
That order does make way more sense than shooting him, start screaming like he's not like that. He's
Yeah.
a Drukhari.
Yeah.
Now,
At
you
least
look-
this order actually like makes sense a little. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what's your response to the situation? What do you do?
I'm gonna make a run for it.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. Difficulty 6.
You might want to use a glory for this because
Yeah.
How do I add a glory?
give yourself a +1 dice and we remove 1 glory from the counter.
Yeah, just give yourself an extra dice to the dice pool. So it'd be rolling 9.
I see. Oh, okay.
You put difficulty number 7. It's difficulty number 6, but you did get 7 successes anyway. So,
I mean,
yeah,
he does have-
you dodge into the shadows and you make your way back up onto the gantries and you make your way through the like the.
Moreover, I want to make one thing clear. That like I mostly it's an upward escape. I don't actually run much. I jump up. I keep hopping up and start essentially monkey barring my way up, grabbing things and climbing upward rapidly. And then when I'm far enough away, like up on the gantry, down it, and then say somewhere in the rafters of the ship nearby, I have room to breathe because I feel like I've gotten away and I'm up high.
Yeah, as I said, you're gonna get into like an air duct, and you make it out of the
I
night
vented.
bay.
I killed
You
him.
hear
and then I
like
vented.
you hear like screaming in the background as the men discover the body of
He's alive.
Sir Provent. Yeah, he's alive. He's just screaming, and
May
they're
or
probably
may
gonna
not.
like grab him and like drag him to the Medicaid center.
May or may not bleed out.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. So
Very liberal with that 6.
so that was a story thing that happened. Let me grab a water real quick, and we'll do Holtz's downtime activity right after. So like
Before that, let me
1
just
minute.
Let me just give like my little reaction to everything that just happened. This will be quick.
Okay.
After I hear the footsteps and the yelling moving further away as they're taking him away, my heart rate settles down. I realize what happened. I look at my pistol. I look at my arm. I actually take this moment up on the gantry to, like, finally properly look at my body. Like, I look how my body looks.
Hi.
I start feeling manually the sharper bones in my face and, like, my pointed teeth. And I actually look back and see that the soles of my feet are actually covered in his blood, and I have left a trail of bloody footprints behind me on the rafters. And then I throw up.
Yeah, so you just like go over the edge of the rafter, just some poor slave like a mile away down the rafters is gonna get hit by this throw.
A mile away.
I mean, you've seen those like indoor environments in Darktide. Like it's some of those rafters are like a mile up, you know. That's how I imagine the inside of the ship is like. It's like the Darktide city.
Oh,
Let me grab a water real quick.
Yeah, we can discuss things until then.
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh god.
So like there was an entirely different downtime activity I had planned, but like now I feel like I have to deal with this.
I'm sorry. No. You can do your regular downtime activity and just say that it was happening like before this or congruently, because there's no proper time frame for when this happened. So you can fully do your thing, and then you can deal with this.
I was originally just gonna have like a conversation with Braum and the tech priest Bitbug. But like this just became like way more urgent and or interesting. So
I've complicated things. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's roleplay.
If Sator saw the knight in his state, he would probably think, you know what, fuck it, let's take him to a homunculus and see him attach his leg back on.
Oh boy.
No, he's not going anywhere near the Drakari. He's not going anywhere near aliens.
Don't talk with aliens right now.
He doesn't have a leg. He doesn't have a choice.
What are you gonna do? Walk out? No, you won't.
The people are taking him to Holtz and or the Medibay, the infirm, whatever it is, the Medicae.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely a Medicae center like on the mechanics floor, right? Like accidents happen all the time.
True.
So he's probably just going to like he's not. If anything, he's gonna try and like keep quiet about the situation as much as possible. But like rumor will reach Holtz, but it won't be from him.
He's gonna narc.
Yeah.
I mean, he got beaten by an Eldar that he hates. He's not gonna like tell everybody.
And he also needs a fucking.
Okay.
He also needs a mechanical leg now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
What happened? I fell.
If it comes to Holtz via someone that's not one of the two parties, Holtz is going to be like, yeah, it's probably fine, and ignore it, which is probably the worst thing.
Oh god!
There was actually
I want to say fucking.
there's actually something else, but
Oh, I fell. What is it with the shuriken? That shut the fuck up.
Fell and half my leg fell off.
listen, I just dropped my leg.
You'll probably say like a piece of machinery fell on him or something, you know.
Throw one of the Orky boys under the proverbial bus.
Throw him under the
Like,
knife.
it was that man, you know.
The guy actively sharpening his chainsaw.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a downtime activity. I don't know how down that was, but it was. Let's hear what Holtz has been up to for the last little bit.
So rewinding time, because Safar did come across, Invictor Braum.
Right.
Holtz had actually invited Braum and Bitbug to a private meeting
Yes.
to discuss what had just happened. And the first thing he does is like, Invictor Braum, I need you to give me a full report of what happened in the last system from your perspective. This might seem like a weird question, but I need you to go ahead and give it to me.
Well, I was in the Reclusium when this all took place, but according to the reports, we entered a system full of the enemy and turned around and flew away. They're currently following us through the warp.
So, just to be clear, you never deployed planetside.
No, sir. We just arrived and left.
Very good, Sergeant. Now, here's my recounting of events, and I pull up, the picked casting of probably from Gizmek's perspective of us landing on the planet with all three squads of Space Marines landing. The planet's dead, and everything's not there.
Funny thing about the picked recording, all of the picked files and all of the reality isn't actually there. When you went to check it after the mission.
Okay, then you
have no reports of landing on the planet in your systems. It's all been either removed by some force or it was never there to begin with.
Well, in that case, I don't show them the pick casting. Right, Instead, I just tell them that we all landed planet side and we made. I tell them most of the full story. I don't tell them that Gizmek inadvertently caused the orc invasion because that can remain classified. But I do tell them basically everything else.
Give me a token deception check. I'm sure you would pass it, no problem. But just to see if you get a complication or something.
If Holtz manages to ignore enough details to not have them suspect that Gizmek is the reason for,
Yeah, 5 successes should be fine. That beats both, especially Bitbug's insight. His insight's 1. So, Brom, he's looking, he's investigating, asking questions, and he's paying attention to the whole story. So it was harder to convince him that Gizmek didn't cause the orc invasion. But he says, and what of that artifact? Is it still intact around?
I believe its destruction is what caused us to revert back to the ship. I'm not sure by what mechanism, but. And I turned to Bitbug. It was likely the same material that we used for our warp drive. In which case, we might have learned a few things. Most importantly, it's capable of traveling through space and time without going through the warp.
That is interesting. The artifact is of a strange exotic material. It doesn't fully exist in this reality, as I've determined. It has a larger presence beyond what we can see and feel.
Inspector Brom, this information has yet to be revealed to anyone outside of the ship. But I feel it is important to note at this juncture that when we came across our warp drive, we were forcibly shaken out of the warp. In other words, whatever material we found is capable, I believe, with very little actual empirical evidence, but it's capable of creating and maintaining its own separate realities. Separate from both real space and the warp.
The fact that you found this artifact for the first time within the cicatrix makes me think that these artifacts are becoming more and more apparent across the galaxy. That is worrying if, say, some world were to accidentally cause its own destruction through one of these artifacts.
Yes. Inadvertently, I could.
I don't know if there's anything we can
ruin
really
it.
do about it other than study the artifact that we currently have, as Bitbug has been diligent in doing so.
Yes, but on the other hand, if this research bears fruit, the Imperium may not need to suffer through the warp anymore.
Again, I would caution you against using Xenos technology, as it is unknowable.
You can call it what it actually is. This is not related to any Xenos I'm familiar with.
It is obviously some lost technology from an ancient race of some sort, one that may have caused its own destruction through these devices. It is dangerous to make use of this technology, even if it is temporarily beneficial to us.
On that, we do agree. I understand. Right, currently, the Blackstone has no choice but to operate with that warp drive.
Exactly. Without it, we would be unable to see all of these threats that have been forming across the dark side of the Imperium. And so, temporarily necessary, but I would suggest against finding more of these relics and giving them to more of these Imperial ships, enough becoming reliant upon an unknowable technology. Who knows what this device may be doing to us? It may be shaping our very souls from within its cradle in the hyperdrive.
He has a point.
The possibility still exists for that, yes. I cannot deny that. On the other hand, Sergeant,
We may be slowly dying, and we may not even know it.
On the other, I still feel the need to point out that if we don't find some solution to the dark side's predicament, other people will find their own solutions. We only need to look to Karsoka for proof of that. Frankly, of the situation, of the possible alternatives I've seen so far, this seems practically miraculous. And I know what you're going to say. We should not trust unknown technology so readily. But my point is that we should redouble our efforts into investigating this material.
Bitbug steps up and he says, "We have been doing our very best to determine the method of action of this device. It seems as it was cut specifically to fit in that section of our warp drive and provide the service that we so necessarily needed. It is as if it was designed for the very intent."
You did say that when we first got it, that it fit perfectly within our warp system. Would you go so far as to say it was a perfect fit for the Blackstone specifically? Or just Imperial technology in general?
The Blackstone's hyperdrive is quite heavily modified through some of my actions and some of the other. He looks up at the corner of the dining room where there's a tin can hanging by a string with a post-it note that says "Not here."
I see. In that case, it did seem like it was a custom fit for the Blackstone, just to be clear.
Yes. There was a piece of machinery that was damaged on our forcible re-entry into real space, and that crystal completely fit into its location within the warp drive, which is a piece of dark technology that even we Mechanicus do not fully understand. Omnisci be praised.
Seems things have gotten even more complicated.
And now you find this device that seems placed directly in your path for some purpose. That, destroyed itself upon performing said purpose, even though I'm not sure what that purpose could possibly be by that story you told.
I have perhaps a lead on how we can further investigate this, but because I have my own hypotheses that I'm not sure how to test, but I have my own hypotheses on what actually is happening here.
Victor Braun says, I will warn you. I have seen events such as these before where a man of the guard or a man of the Space Marines will come across a weapon in a dire time, and it was not provided by the light of the Emperor, but provided by the machinations of the far-seeing Eldar. And that man or that Space Marine goes on to perform horrible events towards man, but help an unknowable xenospecies. Do not think that these devices placed along your way are divine inspiration. They may not be. They may be the devil in disguise.
They certainly are the devil in disguise. They're just, at the moment, very useful devils. And if you have a better idea, or unless you have a better idea, I don't think anyone is in any position to ignore them, for better or worse.
No, we must study them to make sure that they are not a devil in disguise, but are a boon. But I warn you against, universal adoption of these things. Do not trust it.
Then we are in agreement. We must continue to study these artifacts. Unfortunately, that also requires obtaining more samples for studying. I have no intention of...
Wanderer, comes up behind you and, clears her throat.
Yes, Wanderer?
She leans in and whispers into your ear that that Sir Bravant has had an accident down in the mech bay, and is undergoing medical treatment.
Holtz doesn't say anything after she whispers it, other than I'm afraid we'll have to cut this meeting short, gentlemen. I'm sure you have other things that you wish to say, but some urgent business has come up. I'll meet with you two at their earliest convenience.
They bow. Bitbug bows super, super low, given that he's got multiple legs, so he can get real low on his bow,
mm-hmm.
And then he creeps out of there. And Victor Braum salutes and says, "By your leave, Captain," and then heads out.
It probably makes up for Brom not being able to go down that much because one Space Marine, two power armor.
I mean, they can still bow. It's just...
Yeah, he doesn't need to bow that much. He's a Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you never know when you need to...
It's specifically designed into the power armor to be able to bow. It's very important.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's a very important action in the Imperium to bow.
Very important.
He salutes Holtz because Holtz technically has the same social status as a technically, and I want to put that in like bold italics. Technically, has the same social status as a Space Marine chapter master.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I wouldn't say chapter
it's very
master. I would say captain for sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Holt isn't nobody. That much is clear. Yeah.
Rogue traders have a lot of hope.
And Victor Brom is just a sergeant. He's not a captain.
I want to say that the only place where bowing matters more is the Skaven, but then I realized that the Drukhari basically do the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Where they bow and show their necks as a sign of fucking submission.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Who do we throw
go down and
to
check up,
now? Okay, you want yeah. So I just quickly, I don't want to like have a full conversation about this.
No, I was just saying where I'm going after the
like
meeting.
Sir
You don't have
Bravant's like on like a hospital bed. You know, he's got like his half his leg like chopped off. The medical servitor is like applying like a mechanical replacement out of the stores. And yeah, so he'll be back in action soon. It's just very, medically gory and gross and whatever.
I'm assuming he doesn't tell me what happened.
I mean, he's like out. He's been knocked out. The men tell you that they found him next to a piece of equipment that had fallen to the ground, with his his leg like torn asunder. And so he must have been trying to move a piece of equipment by himself, and it backfired on him.
Is that in character for him?
No.
I've known him for maybe 2 months. Okay.
This story sounds very fishy, and it's lacking detail, but also it's not coming straight from him. It's coming from various men that took him to the his armature lieutenants or whatever. That are accompanying him in the mech bay or the med bay.
So this is one of those situations.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where Holtz wants to know what actually happened, but he doesn't want anyone else to realize. He doesn't want anyone to officially know that he knows. So he puts Wonder in charge of sussing out what actually happened and to make specifically giving instructions to make it discreet.
Okay, so she'll make an investigation check. And yeah, a couple of days later, she finds footage of Safar going through one of the air ducts into the mech bay.
He placed 99 out of 100 cameras on loop.
I officially don't
it's
know
not
what
really
happened.
he doesn't know what it's like. You can't tell it's Safar from the footage. It's all grainy, but no one else has that. No one else does a triple backflip off of a platform.
Is that Safar? Triple backflip? Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Officially, Holtz doesn't know, but that's a conversation for later that he'll have specifically with Safar, because I don't think Brabant would tell him.
No.
So yeah,
I mean, you
officially
probably
he doesn't know
cry it out of him if you got him drunk and you hit him with the hard persuasion.
That if I did, that would mean that I'd have to do something about it, because there was a fighter on my ship that specifically disobeyed my orders.
That's true.
And I don't want to do anything about it.
That requires fucking effort. Jeez.
Oh god.
So it's more convenient for me that I don't know.
Oh god.
All right. So what is Gizmek been up to? We'll follow the string through the
A quick mention. I will probably have some things after Gizmek, but we'll go over them quickly because
we'll do Sator quickly after Gizmek. So what is Gizmek up to through the tin cannon string in
Yep. So in his own little quarters, Gizmek has been hard at work, and at the start of this like pan in, we finally see him adorning the last pieces of his crudely welded, uh, screwed and whatnot mega armor that is operated and powered by the Necron power cell that he was given by the Overlord
Right.
previously.
So yeah, we see the new armor. We've got art of the new armor, which is very.
Yep, I'll put up a
gorgeous.
full thing of the art in just a second here because I gotta pull it onto the screen like so.
And so like Gizmek's like trying it on before he's like got it powered on, and it like it fits pretty well. It's designed for him. He measured himself.
Yeah.
There's a couple of like hard edges that are like that probably need to be like sanded down on the inside to be comfortable. But it is orky and spiky in all the best ways. And you yell down to God, who's your goblin assistant? What's his name again?
Grizmo, Grizmo.
Grizmo, right? Yeah. So you yell down to Grizmo, like yell to him to plug it in. Go ahead if you want to do it in Gizmo's voice.
Grizmo, get it plugged in.
Yeah, so he like picks up the like glowing power cell off of your workbench and like
wearing welding gloves because it's like he's panicky.
And he's panicky. He's like holding it at like arm's length as he like walks across the deck. He like, almost stumbles and falls a couple of times as he's like wandering over to your armor. He manages to like get it up into your like waist and like plug it in. And we see like the tubes start to fill with green energy. The sound of like powering on machinery. And there's like a section of it that's like below Gizmek's like neck, like a gorget that sort of starts to fill with this green energy. Gizmek, I need you to make me an awareness check.
Alrighty. Let me
Let
get
me
that
figure out
for
what
you.
your skill is so I can get a decent difficulty for you.
Awareness, I think 5. I'm not sure if I'm reading this right.
Yeah, give it difficulty 3.
All right, so default.
Great.
Just 3 successes.
Yeah. So it begins to power up and it makes all the unusual noises. Except there's like a little like a slight buzzing near your ear, and you start to like fiddle with the machinery around your like ring of spikes on your gorget, and the
Probably
sputtering,
by bashing it.
Right, the sputtering disappears and is replaced by like a whispering voice, and it says, "This seems like a good use of my power. Go forth, Gizmek."
Is you in there, or is you just being weird?
This is gone.
It's just being weird.
You're not really sure if it was real or not.
Just like slaps his ears a couple times as if he has some tinnitus to deal with, and just goes back to work. Like he's trying out the different joints and whatnot and making sure it moves appropriately.
Yeah, it moves smoother than any form of mech armor you've ever used before. We ruled that it doesn't have like the cumbersome rule, so it like normally like orc armor is like it like jerks around a lot. It doesn't have like the same like black Caribus connection of like Space Marine armor where like it can feel what the Space Marine's going to do before it needs to be done.
This one is like, almost on that level.
It's beyond that level, if anything. You feel more acrobatic and athletic than any mega armor you've ever seen or heard about. It moves like a dream. It's almost as if the mechanisms and pistons have like a mind of their own, and they're like predicting your needs.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. All right.
Gizmo like chuckles to himself, and he says, "We made a good one, boss."
Yeah, we did. You did some good work.
And he just sort of like beams up at you like a puppy, you know.
Now, we got some other business to deal with. This place is a mess, he says, pointing around at the mess that he has made on almost on purpose.
Yes, it is an orky mech shop.
We didn't get properly aligned. Oi, go get them older god kits. Bring them in here, we're doing some makeovers. But remind them not to touch any of my dioramas.
Yeah, so over like the course of like, a couple of hours or days or whatever, you clean up your mech shop. It everything is put back in its proper place. And as you are, collecting your like dioramas and your boards and putting all your stuff away, you I don't know, there's something about it like some sort of like a little bit of OCD kicks in and you do a much better job of organizing your space than you did before.
It feels better. It's a little bit too. It's a little bit too neat. Knocks over one table. That's better.
Yeah, I mean, you'll knock over the table.
That's called organization.
And you look at it, and the knocked over table just doesn't feel like it fits the rest of the bay anymore. You're standing there over next to this knocked over table. Do you like pick it up or do you like leave it?
Oh no, I leave it. This is the orky aesthetic that I'm going for. It can't be perfect. It feels wrong if it's perfect.
So I need you to make a conviction test for me.
All right.
Difficulty 1.
Where the fuck is conviction again on this?
There's.
Yep.
What?
Never mind.
Oh, I'm just shitposting chat.
We must destroy these vile tech heretics. Anyways, just ignore the orc with a power armor powered by Necron core.
Where the fuck is the conviction? I keep forgetting.
It's in combat.
It's a combat thing. Gotcha. Conviction. For mutation, yeah.
For corruption.
What's DN? DN 1?
Yeah. Roll it for corruption.
Yeah. Cool.
1 success.
You leave the table, but I don't know, it stays in your thoughts as you leave it.
I leave the table. After a while, I come back and I just set one single vial that was knocked over upright. It's half cracked and broken and shattered, but I set what remains of it upright and then just look at it, nod a little bit, and leave.
I like how this is what constitutes corruption for an orc.
You pick up the vial and you put it on your workbench, and it's sitting and it is cracked and damaged, and it bothers you that the vial is cracked and damaged, and there's we see a close up of Gizmek's face, and there's a green glow it's even brighter green than his normal skin color. And then we look back in the vial as he leaves, and the vial is intact on his desk.
Yeah, right, Orky.
Okay, cool. I love Joe. It's just there it is.
There's the heresy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that
Now's the-
happened, and then we'll do Sator real quick. So what's Sator doing in the
Yeah.
second thing here?
So first thing would be that I feel like in the background the clan Eshan gals would be trying to see what the fucking dust from the cube, if they can do anything with it or if it has any interesting properties. And Sator would also be helping out with that because this is a long warp travel.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
Investigation or scholarship or
It'll be investigation in this case because you're like experimenting.
yeah, I have high investigation anyway because
like there's no knowledge that can really help you in this situation.
yeah. I already placed points in investigation because I want to investigate a chaos cult or something before.
Right. So that'll be difficulty like 5.
Alright. I'm gonna use a glory for did you already lower it by 1 before? I think that you
Oh
did.
yeah, we should be down to 1 now. So we'll be down to 0.
Okay. Is it fine if I use the glory here?
Probably the best.
Yeah,
So,
go for it.
8 dice total. Complication DN5, 3 successes, a failure.
Incredible. Okay.
I'll re-roll.
Okay.
Nope. And there's a complication.
Incredible.
Because why not?
Ref.
Yeah. Let me think about this one for a second. So you're dealing with like that actually like makes some sense because you're dealing with like time dust. That like a problem from the past comes back.
Oh no.
But I don't really know what problem Sator's had in the past.
Yeah. You could have it come more in the future, and I'll explain to you some funny things you could do in the next warp travel or something. Like
yeah, we'll leave it for now. But
he was trying to do shit
you
with
you are investigating the time dust.
I want to mention he was trying.
It does have some very weird properties that you're determining with the Clan Escher. It has like the ability in small quantities to like reduce like entropy, right? Like it causes like chemical reactions to happen backwards.
Oh.
Which is not something that normally happens, right? Like chemical reactions only typically occur in one direction because of, like chemical processes and the fact that entropy always has to increase in closed systems and things, right? So that's why these chemical reactions happen.
Sator would probably experiment with that with his hallucinogenic gas that he made out of 2 Drukhari poisons to see if it would somehow go back.
And so, like, the Clan Escher people are, like, going wild with this stuff because it's allowing them to create chemical reactions that should be impossible.
Yeah, and they probably want to use a lot of it in the first day, but then they realize, oh shit, there's a very limited amount of this thing, and
it doesn't take very much. It seems like it takes like only a couple of
grains,
like microns or mils of this stuff.
Yeah, then we aren't running out for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, so it is a limited resource, so they're being very careful with its use, but like, they're describing some of these chemical reactions that like shouldn't be possible. If somebody of more skill had access to this, they could create some pretty insane like materials, chemical reactions of very intriguing properties.
Yeah. I'm not giving this to Houndar yet.
Yeah, I mean, if he had access to that kind of stuff, things would get
bad.
Things would get bad, yeah. There's no telling what crazy shit.
I'm already debating if I want to give him polymorphine, so...
I mean, it's his ilk that used to, capture like stars and put them in fucking pocket dimensions and shit,
Yeah.
Imagine having the ability to completely rewrite their chemical warfare system,
Oh god. There's warp flash manipulation, capturing suns, and now with this they could be able to fucking go back in time with chemical reactions. Just no.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
And we'll have the complication come back like next time in a warp.
Yes, there will be a chemical disaster of some sort. I just have to come up with what that is.
Yeah, or you can try to see some funny. I can tell you about some stuff that you could use from the past campaign.
Oh yeah, as Joe mentions in the chat, like this could be an insanely profitable mechanism.
Yeah.
If you could figure out how to get more of this stuff, it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if an Inquisitor catches wind that you're doing stuff with this material,
we already have polymorphine. We are
problems.
Sator knows how to make polymorphine. We're already fucked. So honestly,
if an Inquisitor catches wind of this.
Sator might just be like, you know what? Fuck it. If an Inquisitor finds us, we're already fucked anyways. Here's how to make polymorphine.
Yeah, it's like the FTX of the 40k universe.
Hey, we'll at least have a chance to escape with this if they find us out.
This is why Holtz leaves the underlings to do this work, because that way he has plausible deniability.
Exactly. I didn't know that they were making a fucking real life money glitch.
Rejuvenate apothecaries hate him. Local navigator finds way to reverse aging.
Oh god.
Okay.
So, and the other thing was just general. What's the progress with Gizmek 2.0?
It's not story relevant yet, so it's sort of happening in the background.
Yeah.
When it becomes story relevant, we'll figure out what's going on with that.
Sator will probably mention potentially deciding to get a few flashy upgrades later in the future after Gizmek 2.0 is done, but yeah. Oh boy.
Okay. So you guys arrive at the system. To a comms quiet. The system is not undergoing any particularly nasty wars or anything as far as you can tell. There's no enemy warships on the horizon. But there isn't any like Vox signals coming from the planet either.
Are we back in the Jackal system right now, or?
No, we're in the first planet that we went to, where we found the World Eaters, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you get closer to the planet, you see, it's not like the system has been like disintegrated or anything. There's still, like hive structures on the planet. Although low resolution, or I guess super high resolution photos from this distance show severe damage to the superstructures of some of these cities.
If we get we'd advance for like a couple days, right? Because real space travel takes forever.
Yeah.
Right. So after advancing for a couple days and hearing no comms, despite the fact warp travel, especially in a system as quiet as this, us translating from the warp into real space would probably like get someone's attention. Obviously, if they've been in combat, like, you know, watch stations probably would either be damaged or like too busy to like look at us. But like if it's quiet like this, something should have hailed us. And after a couple of days, like Holtz like get ordered to like turn on Vox and like auger sensors and arrays and whatnot, and like look around and, you know, try and hail anything out there, including the planet.
So there are, as you get closer, your sensors start to pick up some pretty severe like ship graveyards over by the moons of this planet. As you recall, the moons of this planet were hollowed out and it started to like fill up with like pirate craft. But the pirate craft have been pretty much decimated. There's lots of ship, like, you know, it's like a ship graveyard. It started to like amalgamate a little, like the ships have started to like slowly like come together. And you're sure that in like a few thousand years time that will conglomerate into like a Hulk of some kind.
Yeah.
I mark Hulk in the making so that when it becomes a Hulk, I get to name it.
As you're scanning the planet, you notice that there is like a huge section of rubble that is like slammed in the planet. It looks like a sorry, my computer's going to standby. There we go. Yeah, you see like a piece of ship material has like slammed into the planet in between two hive cities. It looks like a massive piece of superstructure from a murder class battle cruiser, which is like something that the Chaos forces use a lot.
Yeah. Also, the forever question: is there anything weird in the warp?
I mean, this whole sector has sort of been very royally in the warp since you guys went to Karsoka, and if anything, it's the same royaliness here as everywhere. It's not particularly more so or less so. But
right,
you see this giant piece of superstructure on the planet between these two hive cities. The hive cities themselves have sustained severe superstructure damage. Like the spire, some of the spires have fallen off and like slammed into the ground. You can see like the shadows of them across the landscape. It's obvious that like some horrible thing has happened here, but you're not really sure what it is yet. You're still like investigating as you get closer to the system.
All right, so Holtz's first instinct is to investigate the ship graveyard, partly because he's a ship captain, so like his expertise is obviously in like ship-to-ship combat and things like that. And like the Blackstone is like, you know, a raider, so like she can navigate like through like debris relatively easily.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a problem.
So like that's what we can investigate.
Yeah, it's not like a Star Wars asteroid field or anything. It's more like a real life asteroid field.
He'd probably like you know, designate like the ship graveyard as like the first target of investigation. And like he'll have like a preliminary team like you go to like the bridge of like a relatively intact like vessel. Obviously they're probably like all dead, but like he'll send like a preliminary team to like go into the ship and like make sure like nothing's like in there. And then like once that's confirmed, he'll like, you know,
he sends in like a team of voidsmen to head over, make sure that it's like, you know, relatively like safe to walk around in, you know, because normally these husks can be very like, you know, low integrity and they'll just like fall apart. And there's probably he probably like sends his void teams to a couple of different ships and like half of them return, the other half probably die as some bulkhead, you know, like falls on them or something, or like the artificial gravity kicks on at a random time and slams them all into the ground, or whatever.
Losses.
But there's a couple of ships that are the stable enough to investigate. When you start heading between them, one of the pirate vessels has like a intact set of logs that show like a massive, chaos fleet, arriving, and like just like normally pirates are used to like, things happening to the hive world, and they like try to like pick off the corners, and no one really cares about them because they don't really have any like tactical like relevance, but the world eaters, they fight for no reason, and they just like hunted all of the pirates down. The pirates were able to destroy one of their cruisers, and the schematics for that are in the logs sort of match that chunk that you have detected on the hive world itself.
Okay. I obviously I have the logs downloaded and like archived on my own ship just for like further investigation if we need to. I don't think there's anything in particular on a pirate vessel that would actually be of use, because like even their las guns are probably like lesser quality than like Holtz's crew's las guns.
Yeah, there's really nothing of salvageable material present that you can think of, that you can see. Maybe like this one pirate captain had like a power sword that is of decent enough quality to give to one of your lowest lieutenants, and that's about it.
I mean, sure, if I find it, if I stumble across it, I'll give it to like Joe Bob, the overseer of the lunch ladies. But
basically, like anything you'll find is like of such low value that you would only give it to like your lowest lieutenants, basically.
So yeah, like the only thing that I'm looking for here is
nothing here is Necron infused orc mega armor. Like there's nothing.
That's my old shtick.
Garbage Tarkov run, basically.
Yeah. So basically, we're just looking for.
But that's the major information that you gather is, the pirates managed to get like a lucky shot on this murder class vessel, and it caused a reactor breach, and the ship like exploded.
Okay. So nothing about like nothing about where they went or anything like that.
The logs, suspiciously end when the pirates all die. And by suspiciously, I mean not suspiciously at all.
Yeah, I was fiddling with my chair, but I was like, I wonder why they ended after they all died. Yeah.
One of them is like... one of them is like, I am I'm about to die. It's useless. Throw it into space.
Yeah, I guess the next focus of investigation is the ship that crashed onto the planet. I'd like to hail the planet, see if anyone is still alive.
There's no Vox signals seemingly from the world, but after looking at the damaged superstructure to the hives, it does make some sense, as like most of that equipment is on like the upper spires, and the upper spires are like took the brunt of the damage from orbit.
Gotcha. Yeah, communication antennas.
There might be some people who are alive in the lower spires, but we probably don't want to go there.
And Invictor Braum would probably mention that like that is like a world eater tactic, is they like immediately cut off communications. So they would target the Vox relays and astropath choirs if they existed.
Yeah.
So, obviously, like Holtz would want to like get in contact with like any remaining like planetary governments because like obviously he doesn't expect PDF to know how to set up like backup communication systems and relays to like make contact with like and obviously like they would have no reason to because like his ship is the only ship that would visit them at all that isn't like chaos related or like alien, so like they would have no reason to. But he'd probably, I don't know if he'd send Space Marines to make contact. If anything, he'd send like a small squad of like Voidsmen into like one of the hive cities.
Okay.
Because like just to like one of them with like a Vox box, and like Holt will have his own like Vox box to like get in contact. But he's more interested in the world leadership.
Okay,
Like, he
so
wants
we
that
have
investigated.
like all the lieutenants around like your like holo console, and one of these voidsmen has like a holo camera that's like beaming to the ship, so you can like see what's going on. They're all aboard like a dropship, so the dropship like flies down, lands on one of like the upper platforms of these spires, and you know exits the craft. And they look around and they see just like, you know, wanton destruction and like, you know, massive disrepair. Like the stairways are all busted. The upper spires have taken a serious pounding. Like there's a couple of buildings with like massive holes through them where obviously like, you know, like macro shells came from orbit and smashed into the hive city directly. And it's like eerily quiet except for the wind is like, you know, they're super high up, so the wind is just like whipping around them.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, like the dust and the sand from outside the hive city have started to like get in, and so there's like these piles of dusted sand everywhere as they trek around.
Oh, are we playing
And-
Spec Ops: The Line now?
Kind of.
Jesus.
Oh god.
And
We'll
you
go
know
back,
they
go
managed
back.
to get through the rubble, and they make their way down like a set of stairways that haven't been horrifically collapsed, and they manage to see in the distance like a bunch of like tents that have like sprung up in the mid hive. Like they found like this like massive open space, you know, with like cathedrals on the sides, and there's like these like, you know, Gothic bridges, and like along the Gothic bridges all of these like gray tents are basically being set up. And they get down there and they see some people at the tents, and they, you know, they like blink questioningly towards these folks that are like, you know, well dressed, coming from the upper hive or whatever with weapons, and they you know they talk about how like, you know, judgment came from the stars and you know destroyed everything, and the world is falling apart, and you know the end times have come, and these, you know, the soldiers you sent down are like doing their best to try and like calm everybody. One of the like citizens like pushes on one of the soldiers like shoulder, like he shoves him and like says like, you didn't do anything to help us, and everyone gets kind of like rowdy and yelly. There's a lot of like jiggering with the with the cameras. I need Holtz to make like a leadership check to how well he like trained these folks.
Would this be fellowship based or like normal willpower based?
Fellowship based.
Fellowship. Okay, so that would be, let's see, that would be 8 total.
Yeah, so it'll be a
just gonna roll-
difficulty 4 check.
I'm gonna roll 8d6 because like that's easier than
Actually,
trying to figure, like, fiddle with leadership.
roll me how many successes you get, and that's how many dice they'll get in their check.
Okay. Yeah. That was really
1, 2.
two. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
So
Roll 6d6s then.
yeah, roll 66. That's much better.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they get 8 dice. They roll
2 6s.
Four
4
successes.
successes.
Oh, they rolled a
and a critical.
Yeah, it's a
so they managed to like one of them like shoots their gun in the air, which causes everybody to scream, and they're like, listen up, and like they get everybody to back off, and they like calm everybody down. But you could tell that the folks in the city are they're not having a great time, and they're not really sure what happened. Like
These guys are really close to actually experiencing Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah.
So, I like they would have instructions when dealing with civilians to be like who take me to who's in charge once they're like under control. Like we wish to speak to your leader.
So they nod and they take the crew across this big Gothic bridge towards this cathedral. The cathedral has like giant holes buttressed into it, but the statue of the emperor is intact and in solid gold glory. And at the base of this statue is their like current leader, who's some sort of religious leader. He's got like the vestments of the
Ecclesiarchy.
Ecclesiarchy, yeah. He's grotesquely fat. He's got like grav fields like set up around like his waist to keep him to allow him to move. But they like fail all the time, and he keeps like falling over because of it.
He literally has his own gravity field.
They would be instructed to introduce themselves as the envoy of Rogue Trader Holtz, and that should resonate with anyone that dealt with Holtz the last time he was here, when he when he officially took out 2 of the world eater ships and made the other one run away.
So give me similar to the leadership check, give me an insight check, and that'll determine like the insight of the soldiers when they see this guy and what he talks about.
So
because all of the all the footage and all of the like orders that you're sending all are like delayed, so like they have to make a lot of decisions like on their own.
So insight. Do we have any way, or are we like empty?
Yeah, just roll 8 dice, and
We did roll a crit last time, so I do think that you could.
We do have a glory. No, well, that was the guys down below.
Right.
They'll use that
Yeah.
on the next roll.
If they can use it, that's fine
I
then.
just wanted to. Yeah, I wasn't
Like
going to use it. I just wanted to know if we had one.
I mean,
Yeah,
actually, that's more
has a glory.
in this situation. It's more effective for them to have a
5,
glory.
6, 7. Yeah, so I'll roll 8 dice.
I may have used more of my fair share than I should have.
Okay, so they rolled 5 successes. That should be good. Or 6
No, it's
successes.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ecclesiarch starts going off on this rant about people from the upper city like causing these problems for everyone in the hive, and like how dare they like come down here and make demands of these poor people that have just trying to make their lives, and like you can make the team sees the like the rousing like anger towards them from the masses, and they sort of get on top of that, and they manage to like basically shoot their way out of this cathedral and start running across the like bridge and making it back up into the upper hive and making it back to the dropship and like leaving as like a dark tide level of like crazed common folk come at them from all sides. Like
Hey,
you see one of
Lord,
the veterans having to like basically like chop through like a wall of meat to make it through to one of these staircases to get up to the dropship from his camera.
Yeah.
And so the report is that like this planet is lost. Like the people there are lost to their own instincts.
It's the worst thing that could happen. The poor.
Bomb the planet, take everything that's valuable, and leave. Got it.
I mean, yeah, like since there's no one in charge to protect the valuables, it falls to Holtz to magnanimously protect imperial interests, aka loot everything of value and take it for himself. But that was part one. The other thing is to investigate like the crashed ship site, and that is something that like he will have like like he's planning on sending the Space Marines down there. And like he has like, if not the night, since he's injured, thanks to no one in particular, he'd still have like the armatures like ready to deploy, like if they need like to,
I mean, Sator would like to investigate the ship himself, and he could also see
Gizmek
if there's
will
any...
almost absolutely insist on going down because he wants to loot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We're all going down. I'm just also bringing Space Marines.
Yeah, so there's going to be like a full deployment. Sir Bravent is like out of the med bay. Like he's the robotic leg is attached. He could deploy if you wish.
After this, we'll have to decide if we want to deal with the unwashed masses and take the fucking statue of the Emperor away from them.
That would be bad. I don't want them, like, the Ecclesiarch is probably like the only thing keeping them from going to chaos. So I don't want to take like the statue of the Emperor away.
Yeah, fair.
But like everything else.
Although they'll probably inevitably fall to Khorne because of hatred.
Yeah.
As long as the Emperor stands, it's a good thing. Like Alt isn't into desecration.
Fair.
He's into looting.
We'll steal everything else. We'll steal everything else that's made of gold then.
Yeah.
Okay, so it appears that in the time since the battle and all of the damage on this planet, that the chunk of the Chaos ship has become like a site of pilgrimage, and so there's like a small city that has been like erected around it. But you've got a full deployment going, so you slam down the like mobile deployment of the knights. They come out, they terrorize the populace. The Space Marines come down, they like set up a perimeter, and then finally your ship is allowed to settle like on this like sort of scrap built like landing pad that your voidsmen have set up for you.
If they shot even a single knight, they have already sealed their fate.
Yeah, the people are like, they're giving you like they've all like abandoned the city by the time that you've arrived. So you get to see like this abandoned like tent city built
we
up
did it,
around
Patrick.
this chunk.
We saved the city.
To be fair, a coordinate warship acting as like a pilgrimage site is not a good thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like we might have actually saved the city, but
yeah. So there's like basically like an abandoned like tent city around this thing that you can see. Invictor Braun.
I'm going in to loot all the spiky bits
and the Voidsmen have set up like a wide perimeter around, and you can see in the background like the three knights like patrolling the area, and then there's like the four of you plus a few honor guard coming out of a very fancy spaceship in front of this chunk of superstructure that is like slammed into the dust.
All right.
Oi, gates, back the heck up!
And you look around and you can't help but like slightly marvel at how like improved your situation has become since the last time you came to this world, when you didn't have any of these resources at your beck and call.
Yeah, it's really nice being able to play both Sparings and giant robots. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, we would have had to fight through this entire city. I would have had to like talk to like the peasantry.
I would have had to roll like the leader stair twice. And the entire city would
Oh,
have
that the
everyone
crump
would have
gates.
melted.
Wait, why aren't we doing that?
Why are we doing that?
Exactly.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of things to crump inside the derelict warship. Come on, Gizmek.
Yeah, let's go get some scrappy bits. I still need to rebuild my Mechatred.
We have Crump at home.
From what I heard, you had crump at home.
Oh, fuck.
Can we enter the corn? Can we enter the corn ship now?
Yes, you can. It's a highly damaged piece of superstructure, so it's hard to get through. It's like all the floors are at like an angle. You're sort of like walking uphill all the time on like smooth metal floors. It seems like the entrances to this ship have been like decorated by the common folk. Like,
How have they been decorated?
Oh, if
This is important.
just like like paintings on the walls of like large men fighting,
Caveman painting. Gotcha. Okay.
caveman paintings in your eyes. They've put down like pottery on the edges.
And these are some pretty good art pieces. These people know how to draw.
Oh god! If I use my ability to see the paint of chaos, I'm assuming that it's everywhere because it's a corn ship.
It's hard to tell like what was there before versus what the common folk have painted up over it sometimes. But the fact that there are like
blood was there before. Whatever's in
there are like
probably
fragile like little relics like scattered around probably didn't survive planetfall.
Yeah.
So those are probably like a new thing, and these very poor relics become more and more like dirt as you like go into like the depths of the ship. Seems like the populace were not brave enough to make it that far. But you have managed to steel yourself more than the common folk, and it leads you to like a large like amphitheater, which is probably like the core of this ship. There's like Koran symbols like everywhere.
Start just rattling a can of spray paint as he walks in.
Oh god.
There's a pool in the middle of the amphitheater that was probably like filled with blood at one point, but that blood is like sloshed out of it or dried.
Oh boy!
So it's like the remnants of a blood pool.
I assume that the warp is looking a lot more red from Sator's perspective.
Yeah, if you try to open your eyes inside this section of the ship, it is
Horns looking at you angrily.
All eyes are upon you. You can see things within the warp looking back at you as you enter this amphitheater.
Dator feels like it's a better idea to keep his third eye closed for now.
Yeah. But it's not like the World Eaters are great record keepers.
Nor sneak attackers, from what we know, thankfully.
Yeah, they're not really. There's not. You're not really worried about like the shadows jumping out at you or anything. But yeah, there's just this great chaos site inside of this ship.
Our first priority is information. Gizmek, if you find anything useful, you're free to take it.
All right, that's all the go-ahead I need. Just takes out a blowtorch and a can of spray paint.
Well, Gizmek already has like a pile of like chain axes in his arms. You know?
To be
Yeah,
fair,
absolutely.
Gizmek is probably the one person who's safest to handle all of this. Because
Exactly. Which is why I
Not
specifically tell Gizmek that.
Sator might think about trying to smash some of the symbols, but then he realized that he probably feels a tiny bit of hate inside of him while doing so, and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Holtz has marked the ship for destruction after we loot it. Like, we're bombing this shit from orbit.
Yeah.
Specifically this area. We're not bombing the entire planet, but there's probably going to be collateral. But yeah.
Yeah, so
anyways.
Gizmek has brought like a large like hover crate to like put the scrap that he's looking for in. And he starts to take this place apart and starts to like find like weapons to put into his crate. Can Gizmek give me a conviction test difficulty 2?
I see where this is going. Yeah, give me just a second. I need to pull it up. Conviction test 2, you said, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that sweet blog. It sings to me.
I have not used any of my wrath yet. I should have 2 wrath, right?
Yes.
Yes, you should have 2, not 1.
All right, so I'm going to use
probably
one
didn't reset
of
you
said
properly.
2.
Nice.
Hey.
3 successes. There we go.
Yeah, so you just pile this stuff into your crate without any rhyme or reason in your typical fashion.
Oh, I got the loot. Oh, I got the loot. It's my loot. Hey, hands off my loot.
You're looting in typical fashion and not in a corny fashion, thankfully.
Sator, as you're looking over this amphitheater, you see like 4 spots around this old blood pool that are sort of marked out in runes on the ground. And you think that this is obviously like a ritual site, but these runes have like specific importance to the ritual.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Sator could help his curiosity here or not. So you would look over the runes a bit.
Give me a scholar test, difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5, go. Damn. Do I want to use my wrath again?
It's up to you, dog.
You.
I do like me some chaos, why not? There we go.
Hey,
Perfect.
let's go.
Nice.
Not even
That's
a success.
that's what we like
and a
to see.
failure. Crit failure.
That's what we like to see.
That's what we like to see, right?
Ah, yes, that's good.
That's like a great
that's a good-
complication roll too. Okay.
That's perfect.
So you begin to like scry through the runes, and you know not to like read them absentmindedly to yourself. But Like
At some point.
You have a thought while you're like scrying the runes, which is like that you shouldn't read them aloud to yourself, and you like imagine a world in which you were reading them aloud to yourself, and that leads you down like this mental like basically you fall down like a mental set of stairs as you begin to actually read them aloud to yourself.
Boy, it sure would suck if I read these aloud. Kind of like
I wonder what it would sound like if I read these aloud.
That's just how chaos is. You know, it gets in and it just stumbles you down the steps towards ruin. So speaking of which, I will spend a ruin.
Right.
And you begin to say the words to yourself very quietly, so one of you like stumbles into Sator, like accidentally doing this. I think it might be
me.
Safar. Yeah, Safar. You see, like you're like on the other side of the amphitheater, just like casually like kicking through some of the like the wreckage. And you look over and you see Sator like bending down, like looking down at these, and there's like a red aura that starts to like come off of the runes that like only you would recognize because of your Eldar sort of like connection to this stuff. What do you do?
Well, the thing is, before that, up until this point, I've just been on the periphery. I did make Planetfall with everybody, but I have been keeping my distance from the group, mainly a certain someone. I also have this.
Well, the knight is out like patrolling the city. He's not.
Yeah, because you're knight.
But still, like yeah. I was still like avoiding because even back when we were nearer to them, like.
You do see him, and since he's had the replacement leg, he had like the leg of his knight like modified to like match.
Oh.
So like one of his legs like bends backwards in like a raptor leg now.
Oh God.
I mean, he might be able to actually control his knight better with that, but you know.
Yeah. You're welcome. But so I've obviously been gripped with anxiety, fear, and a whole flurry of emotions after coming to the realization that I am actually falling down the path of my mother. I'm becoming a Drukhari, and it's obviously horrifying to me. So I've sort of been just stalking around, and I've been avoiding Holtz a little bit because I'm not sure if he knows what happened or not. Like, it's just, you know how
he knows everything.
But yeah, you almost certainly know. So,
yeah, it's like, have you ever had a job where like you screwed up and your boss knows you screwed up, but like he doesn't want to say anything because he doesn't want to have that conversation, and so like the two of you are just like avoiding each other.
Yeah. And
that is exactly what this is. Yeah.
And you're staying away from Gizmek because that's just good for your health.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when I'm chucking these things haphazardly without a thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
He just absentmindedly throws me an active, like a powered on chain blade. Catch this.
Anyway, so you're in this frame of mind, and you look over, and you see the like not only the aura of Sator like glow, but the like runes on the ground are beginning to like fill up with this aura.
Just the moment at first I look, I see him, I'm like, oh, he's reading something. I start to see the glow, and I start to hear it in the back of my mind as well at this distance. I'm gonna jumping tackle him. Try and tackle him away from the runes and away from the thing.
Okay, give me a athletics check, difficulty 4.
Hey.
You did it.
How many wounds am I on again? It's like I have 5 wounds right now.
Oh, you're better now.
I'm better.
You're back to normal.
You went to a Medicaid. You got fixed up. You're full health. It's fine.
Okay.
It's been plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get an extra point of glory. So we'll put glory in the pool.
So I leap off to the side of him and then pounce on him from the side, grab him, and we just like roll across the ground away from the runes and away from the thing.
So you roll like away from the runes, and both of you like tumble down into like the X blood pit. Which is like covered in like this like red powdery like dried blood substance, you know. So you all sort of start to get it on your clothes. It starts to like puff up into the air.
Ew.
I need you both to make a resolve test.
Oh no!
Yeah. I think that I do bonus to resolve, or it's called
Difficulty 2
whatever.
for the resolve test.
For fear or terror?
For fear.
Difficulty 2, you say?
Yeah.
Give me a second to just check stuff. I get +half rank to conviction. +1 to fear test when confronted by any demonic creatures.
This is not a
this
demonic
count or not?
creature yet.
Fair. So a conviction, right? Yet. Conviction or resolve.
It'll be resolve in this case.
Yep, fear.
From like the blood
And
like
roll.
powder in your face.
It's
Okay.
just some blood. I forgot to make it 2, but it's fine.
Yeah, so you know you're rolling around in this blood dust.
Oh yeah, Safari also forgot to make it 2, but it's fine because
Yeah, you both got 2, so you're both good.
remove the fear condition from your effects because it's automatically active, or it should be.
I see.
Anyways,
Yeah, and it also gave me a rune, which I don't deserve.
yeah. Sator
I'm down to
is
3
about to like mention what are you... Even the influence of corn is so subtle sometimes.
Yeah, so you throw off into the blood pool, and you're covered in this blood dust, and for a moment, like Sator, you're like super angry at Safar, but then you like realize like that he pulled you away from these runes, and the both of you like look up over the edge of the blood pool, and the runes like they like fill in, and like the whole space around them suddenly becomes like a firestorm. Like a ring of flame like opens up around these these runic symbols on the ground. And the two of you see like a black taloned red hand reach up out of the fire, the flame wheels, and put his claw on the ground, and you can see a form of sinewy muscle pull itself out of this flaming circle. And we're gonna go into initiative.
God.
Yeah, I was
Sator,
about to say is like Holt immediately has everyone open fire.
make your bets, Bloodletter or Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Well, these are not big enough for a bloodthirster to come through, but
Thankfully.
coming out of the floor currently are 3 smaller sinewy forms that you've seen before, but not nearly in this kind of light, which are the bloodletters that you've met in the past. One of the circles was slightly larger, and instead of a sinewy hand coming through, a hoof of terrible purpose slams onto the ground and then rises up. It's one of these sinewy forms, but larger, more muscular. He's got horns that are massive with like a gold inlay on them with like a you don't actually have to roll initiative. We're gonna do the Wrath and Glory initiative.
Got it.
With like a corn symbol in gold, like inlaid, like in between the horns. He's riding atop a beast of mechanical travesty. It looks like a large rhino with hooves, but metal.
Out of character.
and
Ooh, a
covered in
juggernaut.
brass.
Yeah.
And he himself pulls forth from the beast a flaming axe that sears your eyes as you look upon it.
Jesus fucking Christ!
And so the four of you could choose who wants to go first because you're the players. You guys are out of glory.
We have one glory,
right? Oh, you have one glory.
Yep,
okay.
one.
Okay, so I will try to make you spend that glory by spending a ruin to try and go first.
I'm taking it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Gizmek, kill.
Okay, so take the glory to steal the initiative back, so you can take the first turn. And yeah, you got these boys. Three bloodletters and one herald of corn atop a juggernaut.
I am charging at the big boss boy already.
Okay. So yeah, you charge across the amphitheater towards this creature as he comes out of the portal. He screams in your direction, and I believe that you need to make me a fear test just by looking at him.
All of us?
We'll do it on our turns, maybe.
Yeah, fearless, extensive mental conditioning. I am fearless. I am immune to intimidation. You automatically pass any fear test.
Yeah, okay,
nice.
Great. So all of you that are not fearless need to make a difficulty 3 fear test. Or 4, because it's a herald. 4 difficulty 4 here test.
Yeah. I get +1 because it's a demon, but yeah.
Resolve is your will.
I got fear.
Resolve is your willpower, just straight up, right?
It's a willpower minus one.
Okay, so I actually have a bonus to. I have a bonus, so I get +1. So
nice.
Difficulty 4, I believe.
4 for this guy, yeah.
Or because there's a big guy who's really scary.
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, I did succeed, but I got another complication.
Yes. So you do succeed, but so the complication.
Should I roll it, or it doesn't matter?
Wait, what? I don't know. Wait. What?
I cannot even roll.
Oh, you didn't give yourself any dice in your dice pool for some reason.
I have 4 dice pool.
Yeah, I gotta read what fear does again real quick. Like how exactly that works.
You do not have permission to view this journal entry sheet, Joy.
Let me look at holds real quick. Do that.
I'm pretty sure I just
resolve fear dice pool.
Yeah.
For should be 4 difficulty number 4.
Yeah.
So just
I
roll
have
like
all
that.
I would use that one since they just spend a wrath to re-roll. If I can get. I want my.
Yeah, go. I don't know if you can right click and do that or not.
I think you have to since you.
Yeah. Okay. Boop.
Okay. I still suffer the fear condition.
Yes.
I'm the only one without fear and Gizmek, but I get a complication instead.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking up what the complication for fear tests means. It might not mean anything. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Because I don't think crits mean anything for these kinds of tests either.
Yeah.
I'd say
it's been
that,
a really long time since I've done combat, guys. So give me a second.
Yeah. I would say to make it so that instead of actually being afraid, instead Sator becomes straight up pissed again.
Conditions 197. There we go.
Gain the frenzy status instead of fear. Charge into melee combat as a fucking navigator. Totally the right idea.
This is why I have a power fist.
Fear. There we go. Whatever is causing you fear is also making you anxious. Great. Success allows you to successfully. If you fail, you have +2 difficulty numbers on all tests until the end of the scene. or until an ally passes a leadership check, difficulty number 2 plus the fear value. So it would be a difficulty 6 leadership check.
Oh boy.
Until an ally, so I can't make the roll if I fail
Right,
it.
you're because you can't leadership yourself.
I have
Okay,
good leadership, thankfully, but yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like because it'd be really high actually. Because you're also Da, da, da.
And I have 6
I'm just gonna
leadership,
say I'm just gonna say the complication doesn't do anything because crits don't do anything for these tests. So don't worry about the complication.
All right.
And we will move on to Gizmek
All right.
doing an attack. Yeah, he runs across the field. This creature screams, but Gizmek is immune to fear.
And I get a bonus to my ED from charge.
You have to look up the rule for that real quick while I'm looking up.
Yeah, I did already look it up. That's why. Here we go. I have, which gives me a +1 ED on an attacks when charge. So I've already added that in a bonus for the.
Nope. I'm looking up this thing's defense real quick, so you know what to roll against.
Yeah, I need the DN basically.
Mm-hmm. Defense 5.
So DN 5 as a result.
Yes.
I'm using my other wrath.
As you come to hold on. So as you come to attack him, you feel your blood boil, and you feel the rage of 1,000 generations pour through you. And he allows you to reroll 1s on your weapon skill test. So reroll that
All right.
first. Okay, so you will have
Did I reroll another one? All right, I'm going
so
wrath.
You'll have to do a wrath the rest of the dice if you want to.
Oh, it says I have no more wrath because it didn't get it updated properly. Let me add it back and then do it.
Yep, it's fine.
11 successes with 3 possible shifts. Damn.
Yes. So you can shift 3 times for damage.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back.
Okay. And then the damage is insanely high, yes. And it is brutal, so you get the 5, and well, you would get any 4s, but you didn't get any 4s.
I would have rolled 1 more dice, but I don't think that matters at this point. It's too late. I keep forgetting about the wah part of it.
Yeah.
Did you add?
I mean, you got 3 shifts.
Did you add the 3 ED for the from the shifts?
I didn't. I just clicked the roll damage button, so I think I need to do that separately because 6 ED is purely from my base plus the 1 for charging, so I do need to roll another 3. And my weapon is brutal, so 3s and 4s are +1, 5s and 6 are +2 damage. So that would be another +2, so 19.
19.
AP minus 3.
So you come charging across the field. You bring your power claw up, and the beast, the juggernaut, charges you back basically, and you both slam into each other. Sparks flying off your power claw against this creature's horn. You make a quick twist, and the horn goes flying off and slams into the ground, driving into the stone of the amphitheater, causing like a huge explosion of dust and rock. The creature screams, and tilts to the side, and sort of slams into the ground behind you. But its feet are moving so rapidly that it picks up speed, and gets back up onto its hooves. The creature on its back, with a long tongue slithering out, staring you down, as he runs around you. Okay. He's gonna roll. I need to spend a ruin to roll some determination so he doesn't take that much damage or he's gonna die. Determination should let him live.
Fair.
Okay, so he
Local
lives.
man
Yeah,
too angry to
yeah.
die.
Exactly.
And then he's going to take his turn. So he's going to take like a ring around the amphitheater and like come back on you, Gizmek. His axe raised high, his form, slithering with anger and rage. Is almost like his whole body is like a flame as it undulates in the warp. And he brings the axe down onto your shoulder, probably. What's your defense, like 2?
My defense, I need to look at the new armor because I still have the Carapace armor written here. I forgot to add the new one in, and I don't have access to it.
Defense is just on your agility.
Initiative.
Agility, initiative.
Oh yeah, initiative.
-1.
Fuck is this always? I ain't good at this.
It's
It
in
should
fast.
Defense is 4, actually.
Okay, great. So we'll see what he
Or
rolls here.
No. Or did you check your stats initiative?
Okay, so he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can shift twice those 2 6s.
Damn.
Do.
I need you to give me a custom thing of Mega Armor at some point to replace the Carapace.
6.
That just
Make it
affects
yourself.
your.
It's not the system we're using for Necromunda.
He's going to use a ruin to re-roll to try and get even more hits on you.
Jesus.
He rolled a pretty bad roll. There we go. That's a lot better. So you can shift another 6. So he brings the axe down on your shoulder, and your armor's defense is.
My armor is now rating 7, and I think
Yeah. So
it's
what's
not
your total
invulnerable.
resilience now?
Total resilience.
Yeah, because his weapon's
is-
only AP 3, so it doesn't matter. Your
My
invul save
resilience
wouldn't
is 10 if you add the 3 that is currently not accounted for, 13.
Sweet. So he's going to do 13 plus 2 ED plus the 3 shifts of ED. So 5 ED. So I got to roll 5 ED.
15. So
with his brutal
1.
weapon. So 1, 2, 3, 4 extra.
So 17
so that'll be
damage
17 damage
with 3 AP.
with 3 AP. Yeah.
All right, so 17 damage versus what is effectively 10 resilience, so I take 7.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good number of wounds taken.
Mm-hmm. So he slams into you. The beast providing an additional force as the herald brings his axe down. When he does so, you can feel your blood boil from within you, and you're gonna have an extra 2 weapon skill for the rest of the battle.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
You guys can go with another person.
Funnily enough, this isn't the first time that Gizmek fought Bloodthirsters because Sator summoned some while he wasn't really doing anything.
Well, this isn't a bloodthirster. This is a Herald of
Bloodletters,
Corn.
I mean.
Yes, this is a Herald of Corn.
Bloodthirsters, Jesus.
Still
And
insanely
also,
OP,
Herald.
but
Yeah.
Herald is also strong. But yeah, I feel like I should go to first try to use my leadership on someone and then try to do something else, maybe.
I'm down with that.
up to you.
Because
Or
Yeah.
we can also use the squad of Space Marines. That would probably be like a bolter shot with a high.
they're not with us, I don't think.
They're
I think
they're providing a perimeter to the civilians.
It's just the four of us.
All right.
Yeah.
We're fine.
All right.
There's also your voidsmen, but they are currently like pissing themselves in the corner.
Great work, team.
They're getting executed after this. That's for sure. Anyways, I guess I will first brawl. We have 2 actions per round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first, leadership. Is it on everyone or only on one person? Because I would probably choose Safar because you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
for
do
the fear thing, I believe it's
Yeah.
everybody in your like shouting range can use the leadership role.
Yeah. Holtz and I are close enough. Oh, Gizmek
Yeah.
doesn't need Gizmek doesn't need it. It's just Holtz.
Yeah,
and
I know. So
And we'll-
difficulty is 6.
Difficulty 6 leadership check to break the fear.
Do we have 1 glory?
No.
Yeah.
You guys use the glory to steal the initiative back from me.
That's right. Yeah.
So I could charge first.
Funny. Yeah, it's worth. First leadership
I'm
doesn't
out with
work.
10. For now.
Sator is too focused on thinking about how to deal with the fucking blood letters than
It's a little bit distracting.
than stopping Safar and Holtz from thinking that they're about to die. And one thing that I saw in a fucking different PDF, which I saw interesting for original Rogue Trader, was being able to basically keep demons in place by rolling willpower against them or something like that.
Oh god. It's gonna be a really high roll.
I could technically do the same here because of navigator powers too anyway.
Right.
But yeah.
Each of you currently has like a blood letter like approaching your position, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can either like help Gizmek with the Herald, or you can, deal with the one
Charge,
currently coming to murder you.
Charge 1 or it's basically the thing that I mentioned is that it's like how psychers manipulate the warp. You can technically do the same with a demon because they're just part of the warp. If you have strong enough willpower, but if you are a psyker, it's of course easier for obvious reasons.
Still though, like it takes a lot to control a demon. That's why Grey Knights have all these like shenanigans, sigils, and the demon's names and whatnot to be able to do it effectively.
So
They will have resistance against
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
I
you can
want
just shoot them with the melter gun.
I don't have a melter gun. I have a last pistol and I have really shit ballistic skill.
Fair enough.
Or I can charge him.
Don't do that.
But okay, so if I want to try to stop him in his tracks to sort of control him, what would the difficulty number be?
With your like lidless stare or whatever it is.
It's more attempting to control the demon straight up, or stopping him in his tracks or something along those lines.
What's that? I know I wrote down like notes on your sheet about what those things do. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong freaking camera sheet. That's why.
For
Okay.
that ability specifically, it's the difficulty number is target's resolve. For hell, in my case, I'm trying to do a thingy which was only specific for demons, but it's fair to use my navigator ability instead.
Yeah, just use your navigator ability, because as I said, like your like connection to the chaos powers was like cut off when the cicatrix opened. Like they just were like, we're done with you.
What would
like, they
be
don't care about you anymore.
What would be the difficulty number?
What's the defense normally for that? A power?
It's a resolve.
Resolve. Okay, yeah, they've got a resolve of 4.
So difficulty number 4 then.
Yeah.
I'll take it, I suppose, because I have better chances of that going slightly better than you know. Oh yeah, this also works on actually. Each time. Okay, so if a locked target can make a move, a locked target must beat a navigator in a willpower check each time it tries to use a psychic power or invoke ruin abilities. Demons affected by this suffer 1 mortal wound.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that. 4 on point.
Great. Yeah. So he suffers a mortal wound. So you look at this bloodletter approaching you. Eyes focused on you with murderous, fiery intent. And you open your third eye towards it, and it's stuck still.
Just like a Dora the Explorer moment. Swiper, no swiping.
Your eye pushes forth the power of your like bloodline.
Letter, no letting.
No letting.
As you're holding it still, you begin to hear like a chaotic a voice in your ear, supposedly from this creature that you're holding still, and he's like describing all of the ways that he's killed all of your ancestors. Yeah, cool. So we'll move on to one of these bloodletters. They're gonna have a turn. So one of them's gonna come rushing up at Holtz with his pistol drawn. He's gonna bring his blade up.
I want to specify that held in my case has a range of 5 meters, but it's like at the same time I probably walked up to him to use it, so it's whatever.
No, he was running at you like straight up.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got it right on the edge of it.
I have my power sword, which also has parry on it, so that would also give me, just for the record, that gives me like +1 to defense. So I have 3 defense for when he inevitably kills me.
3 whole defense. Here we go.
Yes.
This guy has less weapon skill than his boss.
Oh boy, it's like, damn.
So he critically hits you.
4, 5, 6. Of course he does.
Yes, he does. So you're going to take a bleeding condition in addition to the damage, but he can't.
Of course.
And he can shift 1/6. So it's only going to be 13 plus 3 ED. So he'll roll the 3 ED. So that's an additional 4 from the brutal. So that's going to be
how many
AP? What's your resilience right now?
So I have I have 7 resilience, but I also have my refractor field, which can't be reduced. So
right.
If he has
so
any AP,
he brings his sword up to attack you and like comes down at you. But you're like this like golden shield like fills the space between the two of you. The creature then like spins his sword into a point and starts to like pierce through the shield with like crackling energy. The flame like erupts. The sword like erupts in flame as it like slices into your shoulder. So you'll take what was your resilience total?
7 total.
7.
I don't know how much.
So you'll take 5 damage.
Okay, I have one wound remaining.
He like slices into your shoulder, and as he does so, you can like feel flame like leap from your clothing as the heat presses into your body. The creature's already like filled your heart with fear, and now he is like piercing your flesh. As he does so, you like look down at the wound, and like you can see like rivulets of your blood like popping off the veins in your shoulder as they like vaporize in your body. The pain is unimaginable. Who wants to have a turn?
Let me just roll determination real quick. Hold up.
Yeah, determination.
Yeah.
All right. So I rolled a 6, so that gets rid of 2 of those wounds.
Yeah. 2 of those wounds go to shock.
And what? How much is shock willpower?
You have
it's
6 shock. Yeah.
Yeah, check. Yeah. So, and because he just stabbed me, despite my fear, I can invoke a talent, which is gallows.
Right, you have the gallows humor as you're fucking dying by bloodletting.
That's great.
So I can make a DN2 fellowship attribute test.
It's gonna be 4 because you're afraid.
Yeah, and I'm bleeding now, so it's. But so
You're injured as well, so it will be 5.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Man, the homunculus might need to do a lot of work after we are this battle.
Oh god.
So I can make this test, and if I succeed, me and any allies I can hear can cover shock equal to our rank plus the number of icons rolled. So if I succeed this, I can just get all my shock back because I'm the only one who's taking shock. But
I think that
I just
Gizmek should have also been able to roll determination, but we just forgot because, yeah.
No, you can always roll determination.
I got 6 successes, so I just say like
Yeah.
So I look at him and as he's like pierced all of my defenses, and I say, my dick is sharper than this.
You call that penetrating?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Hold. You devil.
God.
I am back to 0 shock.
Oh, and I got a ruin from critting you as well. So that's cool. Sweet. Yeah, so you guys have a turn to do.
Question: can I shoot a pistol into melee?
If you wish, yes.
Would you like me to go first, Chrono, or do you want to be shooting from range? It's up to you.
I do actually. I might actually have to go soon, so I think it's better if I get a shot in now. I'm gonna shoot from range, and I'm actually gonna take a shot at the bloodthirster that is attacking Holtz. Like that is the priority.
Not bloodthirster.
Yeah, right, sorry.
Bloodletter.
Yeah, bloodletter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at
blood in their name.
it.
The blood thing. The corn guy.
Corn guy.
You're just like at a fucking like baseball event selling corn instead of hot dogs.
Oh,
I shoot the red thing.
the red thing. Yeah,
And so far is. Was he afraid?
Yeah.
He was.
I was.
Yes.
I did.
Yes. So he's gonna have +2 defense, so he'll be defense.
Pretty sure that it already gives him a +2 because of Foundry, as long as
Yeah,
fear is
there's
active in
a
event.
fear
Yeah,
effect on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure I haven't. The
Well,
effect is. I have the,
the combined total roll will need to be a 5.
So make it a 3, and it already should have a +2 in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so we know when we look at the result, like it should be 5.
So Ranger long rifle, difficulty number 5, dice pool 8.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, is it? Okay.
Hey,
8.
complication.
Roll damage?
And complication.
Yes, but also your weapon will be out of ammo.
Is it reliable?
Fuck. Wait,
Is it reliable?
Okay, damage 11 and... Wait. Oh, wait, did I drop the item or do I run out of ammo?
You run out of ammo. That's the one that was rolled first, unless it is
I
a
see now.
reliable weapon. Does it have the trait reliable? It does not.
No, it's just a regular long rifle.
It does
And
have
it-
sniper 4. So
What does that do?
I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'll try to look for trace too.
Shit. It's not on
probably
this
should-
sheet. I have to pull it up on my thing.
I probably should have switched the ammo to shuriken, if I'm being honest. Does shuriken do more damage?
No, the sniper will do more damage for sure.
Okay, because I have two different ammos: projectile and sniper, or projectile and shuriken.
Ranged weapons.
Ranged upgrade 216. Should go to 216 and then look up.
Sniper X. Weapons optimized for high accuracy over long range. When you aim with a sniper weapon, you gain an additional +1 bonus die to the attack on top of like the normal bonus aim, and gain plus ED equal to the weapon's sniper rating.
Right. So I assume your first action was to aim. So go ahead and roll one more die.
If it's +4 ED because of that, that'd be from damage. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll one more dice to hit as well, because you might have a 6 to shift if you get a success.
It's +4 because he has sniper 4 though.
Right. It's +4 ED. Yeah.
It's
So roll one more attack die because you did an aim action to start.
D10 or D6?
Two more
one
attack
D6.
die.
Just roll one D6.
No, it's 2 because he gets a bonus one. So
Oh,
yeah, so roll another one. Yeah.
Right, because you get a bonus one because it's long range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll one more. Okay,
4 and
cool. So you did. So you did get enough successes to shift that 6. So you did get an extra damage. So roll an extra 5 dice for 5 ED, and every 4 plus will be an extra damage.
okay. /R 5d6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And-
one more damage.
Great.
So that will be a total of 13. Which, if I don't have any ruin, and I don't want to spend the ruin, so I'd rather use determination on the other guy. So you shoot him in the head, and he like goes down. His body just like disintegrates into the ether.
Get killed.
Becoming like a screwed like outline, like a police sketch on the ground, but like made out of like that blood powder stuff that was in the blood pool earlier.
Oh, shock outline.
Yeah. And then we will have the bloodletter run up to Safar and get up in his face and slice into him with his sword.
On one hand, I eliminated a threat. On the other hand, I am now the threat.
What's your It doesn't matter. He hits you, but yeah, I need to get defense for let's see, 1, 2.
My defense. I think my defense is 2 right now.
Okay, so he's going to be able to shift those 2 6s for damage.
Yeah, boy. And I have fear, so.
That doesn't matter for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's 4 extra damage.
Is it a brutal weapon?
It is.
That 3
course it is.
Isn't that 3 a +1 too?
I have 7
Oh yeah.
health.
Yeah, and then your resilience is 7.
Sorry.
And he does. Roll determination real quick so we can reduce the damage while I figure this out.
What's my dice pool? 4?
What's your
18.
It says
Toughness, I think.
determination 4, and it says +2 DN to all tests right now because I have
that's
fear.
because of
Don't worry about the
Just
fear for
roll.
determination.
Oh,
yeah, just it's a number of icons you roll.
Yeah. Okay, so put up 2 shock.
yeah. I already have 2. I have 2 out of 5 shock on already.
So you take 9 less than that. So you'll take 6 wounds. So you'll be at 1 health.
Oh god.
No. How many wounds do you have, Holtz? Out of curiosity.
I have 6 total, but I've taken 3.
Oh boy. Why did I get the worst of it?
Yeah, so
Because he's got fancy defensive means.
And he clips you as you try to dodge away. And like you can almost feel your soul be like absorbed through his weapon. But you pull it back at the brink of time.
He spins down with his sword, clips me. I feel my soul yanked out, freeze almost in place for a second, and the wound is grievous enough that it actually travels down my body and cuts through right around my abdomen. You can actually see a little bit of intestine hanging out of my stomach. And I'm staggering backward, gasping for breath.
He like, screams in your face, the mortal terror gripping your heart.
Oh, yeah. Because one thing to keep in mind, I don't have a soul stone.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you're still, you aren't a full-on.
Harlequin either.
I'm not a full-on Harlequin. I feel like part of the test was probably putting my life at risk by being around demons without the full blessing of Kegorok or without a failsafe. Like, you really got to put your balls on the line for this test, and I don't have a soul stone, I don't have the protection of Kegorok, and I'm very partly corrupted. If I die, I'm probably going straight into hell. And I know that.
Hey, hopefully the homunculus can take you from Korn before he murders you.
No, I'm going straight to the realm of Slanesh.
Yes, it's your turn.
So
I'll be right back.
seeing that I am now free to do as I please, I take my master crafted plasma pistol, and seeing Safar nearly get eviscerated, I point it at the bloodletter attacking him, and I overcharge it. As charge, I sit there and I aim, and I just let it cook for a little bit, and I aim it at the bloodletter attack. And since I aim and it's master crafted, I get three extra attack dice on this.
Nice.
So
But if you crit fail, it's awful.
Defense 3 on these guys.
defense 3, so it's DN 6 total since I'm bleeding and whatnot.
You're
dice
wounded
pool,
and you're fearful still.
and
You
then
feel
when I
your
get-
arms shaking as you can barely keep your eyes on this creature as it fulfills your wanton terror within your body.
I get 3 extra ED. So
Oh, I didn't see the roll for the hit.
I'm just playing with the plasma. I'm still setting things up because there's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me just make sure I have all of these right. I'm going to spend a reroll. Please
You
don't.
do
fuck
have
me.
Wrath aplenty.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Damn.
Only 5. Yeah. So
we don't have any glory. Fuck.
You get to know how I felt throughout this session.
So
I don't.
You're
have fun.
trying to steady your arm. It's shaking like mad. You fire the weapon. The creature just sweeps its sword around its head as it cleaves into Zafar, and it just bats the plasma bolt aside, and it goes flying another direction and slams against the wall.
That didn't go through.
Did you
Sorry,
He is trying to shoot his plasma pistol at the guy attacking you and missed by 1 DN.
Who's attacking? Which one's attacking me?
The bloodletter!
The
That
bloodletter.
just fucking wrecked you.
The red dude.
Oh,
No, you killed the one on me.
I
Yeah.
forgot that it was still attacking me. Fuck.
There's 3 of them.
Okay.
The bloodletter in front of you, Sator, is trying to break out of this lidless stare.
Technically,
It's
the
trying
power-
to distract you and
Technically, the power doesn't say anything about people being able to move, but that's sort of bullshit.
right. No, he can't move, but he's as I said, he's got this voice in your head, calling to you to try and break your concentration. So go ahead and give me a resolve test against difficulty 3 to keep your ray upon him.
Would this be fear?
No.
So no +1 from the thing?
No.
Yeah. I'll just roll
Nothing to do
willpower with a -1 to make things easier.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 3.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, so you manage to like keep his whispers out of your mind as you hold him in place, and he, screeches in pain as his body writhes. Parts of him like flaking off of him as he's taking mortal wounds, sitting in your vision. Back to the top of the order.
Clementine!
Trying to think. Joe, can you make a leadership check? Difficulty
Fellowship
6 with fellowship.
Okay, difficulty 6 with fellowship. So that's 8. I'm gonna roll insight.
But no, this is like a previous leadership check to see if you've trained these guardsmen to be capable of like coming to your rescue right now.
Gotcha. Previous leadership. So ignore the.
So not wounded, not bleeding, all that other stuff.
All right.
So make it a -3 difficulty for whatever it will actually be.
Yeah. So what's the difficulty?
6.
6. All right. So
6, then you ignore the other stuff.
I'm rolling insight because it's the same as leadership with fellowship, so don't mind that.
Fair.
And I'm gonna spend another.
Go.
There we
Move.
go. And I will shift. I can't shift one of them for glory grip. Oh well.
Yeah.
Sad.
So the contingent of guardsmen, they set up a firing line and they unload into the room. Las bolts flying in every direction. So let's see if any of them hit anybody.
Oh no.
Well, that's a complication. So one of them's going to hit somebody, but they also hit the blood letters.
I would like to say las guns are reliable, which means they can ignore the first complication.
Oh, did they ignore the first complication, or they ignore the
first complication?
Okay, so they got very fancy las guns because they're honor guards, so they will ignore the complication.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully.
And I should roll one more dice actually.
So they don't all have to reload or something like that.
Well, they don't hit any of the blood letters either. So back to the top of the order.
Good work, team.
Gizmek is
yeah.
raging.
All right.
Too bad that I don't remember if I have that drug that
What is the DN on this?
Too bad that I don't have that drug that makes...
The defense on this guy was 5.
I know that there's one specific Drukhari drug that makes orcs specifically go into frenzy instantly.
Wait, what?
Wow.
You
are re-rolling those 2 1s, and also don't forget you have 2 more weapon skill right now because of this axe of corn cutting into you.
Okay, I don't think I did the weapon skill. Okay, it's not supposed to be DN7. It's supposed to be DN5. That thing is acting up. So that would be 3.
Yeah.
So 3 so far, and then you have another 2 dice as well.
Come on, I believe
Oh,
you.
fuck.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope. No, you don't get to have believe.
Yeah, so you swing your power claw up at this creature, and he just bats it away with his axe. The axe has like an insane weight to it, but he's like swinging it around with one arm as if it were weightless. The strength on this being is beyond your comprehension.
I don't have much else I can really do, can I?
You could have aimed, I think.
Or all
could I? So I'm going to take an opportunity to fucking throw my melt-a-gun to one of you chucklefucks.
Why?
Yeah, I have a fucking melt-a-gun.
A melt-a-gun spins across the amphitheater and lands at your feet.
Yep.
Give it to the guard, please. They can
Yeah.
actually shoot without,
Yeah.
they can only shoot, so.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the face!
Yeah, the guard take it because I have a plasma
Okay.
pistol and a melta gun already, and
You
everyone else
spin
is
it across
occupied.
the amphitheater at the guard's feet. One of them picks it up, loads it like Arnold Schwarzenegger style, and lays it down to fire across the room at this creature. But they'll have to do that on their turn.
Oh wait, actually, I know this is a little late, but were they within 6 meters of me?
Sure.
I would have hit.
Nice. Roll damage.
I'm just gonna hold on.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Plasma Pistol is gonna fucking just murder this bloodletter. Like, he doesn't have enough wounds to survive that.
I mean, it does
God.
15 base with -3 AP.
Yeah, he's toast.
I mean-
He's so toast.
Gizmek already fucking chopped him in half almost, so
So
Yeah.
so far the bloodletter that's like coming down upon you vaporizes into particles of dust.
I forget that short range is a thing. That was my bad.
Yeah.
Gizmek, the creature before you raises up his axe, is about to bring it down upon you. Let's see if he hits.
You get?
Let's go. I turn and look to the guard that vaporized that bloodletter, and I just think, I'm like, if I get out of this alive,
That's a
I'm gonna
terrible.
rock
Wow,
it.
that actually did pretty badly.
Yeah, he gets to reroll his ones.
Oh,
Which
He
helps
gets
a little.
3 total, I think. Is it 4
Total.
plus? My defense is 4. He doesn't hit.
He'll use his ruin to reroll.
He did roll a crit fail.
Yeah, he rolled a complication.
Oh god. Safar killed Holt's bloodletter and Holt's killed Safar's bloodletter. How wholesome.
Okay, so
Teamwork.
he'll still hit you with the ruin.
But he does still get that
but
complication,
as
right?
he does so, because he rolled a complication, so the axe goes up over his shoulder. He starts to bring it down on your head. He's laughing. He knows that he's won. When Gizmek, I need you to make me a conviction test, difficulty 3, against corruption.
Why do I have a +1 DN to all tests? Did I accidentally turn on an effect that I shouldn't have?
Because you're injured.
You're wounded, yeah.
Okay. So still DN 3 total, or
4 total with the wounded.
all right?
Okay, so take 3 corruption. And
You made it 4 instead of... Wasn't it difficulty 3?
as the axe
No,
comes
it is
down
difficulty
upon
4
your
total. I
body,
just asked.
My
a
bad.
beam erupts from your chest from the green light of the Necron crystal at the axe, and the axe just disintegrates and disappears from this reality. And the creature swings, and his hand just like grazes against the armor with like a scratching sound. And he looks at his hand like confused.
You want to do fisticuffs now? All right. Gizmek just like pulls his claw up, and he's just like, "I'm already doing it."
The guardsmen like fire across the room, Sator, and like the bloodletter that you're holding in place like evaporates.
Tator gives them a mildly annoyed look.
Somebody could take their turn.
I want to hit with my plasma pistol, and there's one creature left.
Yep, there's just the herald left.
And I say, Gizmek, you took too long.
No dibs.
I aim. Is it? How far away is it? This matters.
It's 4 meters away, 5 meters
Right.
away.
So it's range.
I have a hard time knowing how far away a meter, like a number of meters are.
You know
Just
what a
if it's in
yard
short
is?
range or not.
American.
Maybe 10 meters away because he's like at the center of the amphitheater and you're like on the edge, right?
Yeah, that matters.
A meter is like 3 1/3 foot.
Thanks. That's super helpful.
What's
I'm
his
just-
10?
If you're in a
What's up?
fucking amphitheater, it would
10,
be
10.
big
We'll
enough.
say 10. We'll say 10.
No, but
Right, so-
what's the DN? His defense is 5.
Oh, 5. Yeah, his defense is 5.
All right, so there's a pretty good chance I'll just straight up miss because of wounded and fear and whatnot. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna roll because I have nothing else to aim at.
Are you aiming?
Yeah.
I am,
Ooh.
and I'm spending a reroll.
Give it a shot.
So,
Because you got Wrath for days.
no, I only have the one left. They just haven't been taken off the screen. I have one wrath left.
You usually have Wrath for days, and you have used most of it.
So I need to roll 4. All of these need to be successes.
Nope.
One shy again.
Ooh.
Just tickled his butt.
So you fire the pistol again, but his mount like jumps over Gizmek and lands on the other side, and the plasma bolt like splatters against the ground.
Tickled his butt.
It
Wait.
went right by its hooves.
Wait,
So
why is it
far
a
in
failure?
Sator have turns.
It says 7 successes and 2 failures. Why is?
He needs 8.
This is, I
He's
need
bleeding
DNA.
and stuff.
Oh shit! I am going to
Let me do a leadership. Actually, yeah, I'm no longer. Let me try to do a leadership first.
Okay, you go.
Difficulty 6.
Yeah.
Hey,
I did it.
Hey.
So
he's like, go ahead.
Sator shows Holt a mirror.
doesn't even show a mirror, just points him at like a particularly reflective and shiny piece of scrap metal on the ground.
And he gives Safar a photo of Holt encrusted in gold.
What? What the?
Holt is inspiring. Come on, man.
Okay. You know what? That's fair. That's really fair.
He breaks you from your fear. You can actually look at this being now and see that its weapon has been destroyed for some reason. It's significantly wounded. The creature that it's riding is like leaking blood oil all over the ground. Its horn is shattered across the amphitheater.
Sator is also calling dips, and I'm gonna fucking make it stay still.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an eye check.
What is its its resilience or resolve?
Or its resolve is 5.
Cool.
Cool.
No.
Yeah, you try, and he just sort of like flicks his hand in your direction, and
Flips you off.
you just lose concentration. Like this being has been around for more than your life. He's been around for the life of the universe, and he is rage incarnate. He will not be stopped by your pathetic attempt.
You're cringe.
Krona, give me a sniper shot.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. But my long rifle is actually out of ammo at the moment, unless I've had a chance.
Right.
I only have my shuriken pistol.
Yeah, so
Or you
pull your
can try
pistol.
to reload, but I think that takes an action.
It's a simple action to reload, but like that you don't get to aim.
So you don't get to aim, which would suck.
I think it might be better to go for the pistol at this point.
Yeah, so you can fire the pistol and then reload your gun for the next round if there is a next round.
If I survive that long, okay.
No, if the demon survives that long by this point.
Oh, good point. I have +2 DN to all tests and +1 DN to all tests, so +3. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Have you removed the fear?
Yeah, so you're only at +1 right now.
I have.
So it's difficulty 6
It's
total.
it's under effects panel. It's like the 5th most tab. You just have to unclick it.
Wait, which one?
Effects.
I'll grab
One that look like eyes.
The fear. I got
Effects,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I see. I found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So Shuriken pistol, dice pool 4, dice number 8. In this situation, I have regained some of my composure. My feet getting traction on the ground despite standing in a pool of my own blood. I am leaning one shoulder against the wall, my pistol in one hand, taking aim at this thing, and the other hand holding in my innards. I take a moment. Focus. Remembering my training, what little training I got from the Harlequins, remembering who I am, where I am, and I completely whiff.
Oh no.
No, if it would be a DN4.
Pistol is out of ammo.
Fuck! Oh no!
Somebody forgot to reload their shit before they came down here, huh?
Like you recall like limping back to your hovel in the ship, and you were like quickly trying to like fix your gun after you fired and blew off that guy's leg. So you like took the clip out to put a new shuriken in, and like you forgot to put the new clip in. And so you just fire, it just makes like a tick, 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 tick sound. And Samar just like looks
so much.
You're expecting a bang and you hear a click. It's the worst feeling.
So we're back to the next round. Gizmek,
Yeah, my turn!
give me a melee attack. Finish this guy
Okay,
off.
so far, not everyone can be Holtz.
Yeah, clearly.
All right.
Wait, I'll take this action to, now that my pistol fucked up, I'll take this action to reload.
The
Yeah.
long rifle.
The rifle, yeah.
You do have the long rifle to reload, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
You got him. So you
Hey.
drive your claw within the core of this beast, and it just like fizzles out of reality, and the flame circles disintegrate.
That's what I'm talking about, boyish.
Leaving the amphitheater quiet once again, but everyone is like bleeding out.
Like, Sator is literally just fine.
Yeah, he's just
He
standing there.
didn't get afraid. He didn't fucking even get hit. He's just
Yeah.
slightly covered in blood.
Didn't even
Gizmek
break a
starts
sweat.
stitching.
It's like
Gizmek
thinking,
starts stitching himself up without even thinking with his own Medicaid mechadendrite, just not caring.
oh god, out of character. That was a pretty pathetic display. I'm going to read those runes again.
No.
And so, as the heroes are like picking themselves up, trying to like limp back to their vessel, in the space above the world, a symbol of corn appears, and 8 ships come through, being summoned once again to war. And we'll deal with that next time.
Oh no.
I look up. See
As
the
in,
ships
oh
appear.
yes.
I look up, see the ships, and the only words out of my mouth, oh, what the fuck now?
All right, guys. That was a great session. That was super
Yeah.
fun.
That was great.
There were lots of failed rolls that were really.
We should be able to
It
have
was
a session
funny.
next Saturday. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
So this has
That was a
been
good session.
Unlucky Rolls Wrath and Glory. Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been a slightly longer session because we had to make up for last time. Next session that we have should be the 10th, like he said, which is this upcoming Saturday. But in the meanwhile, number one, in about an hour and a half now, we have Necromunda for a few of us that are in that campaign for Marius and Six over here, who are both playing in that campaign, myself GMing it. And next Saturday, alongside at the same time at 3 p.m., we have the first session, hopefully, of our Warhammer 4E campaign relaunch. So look forward to that. And with that all in mind, thank you very much for dropping by.
Said campaign. It will be funny.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye.